Hello everyone, and I'll be playing Night with Timber, and I think it's a game where Timber kills you. It looks like a horror game, just by the looks of it. That's all the descriptor that we have. So we can name our character. Tofu? Gorgonzola. Nettle. Tart. Bechamel? BBB. Yogurt. Camila? I like that. Let's keep this name. Alright. Night has fallen and you hear concerning noises in the woods behind you. You've been running for a while, a brisk walk at first, but eventually a near sprint as your paranoia gets the better of you. Something is following you. You can't help but shake the feeling you're being hunted. You knew this mountain was home to all manner of dangers, from predators to frostbite, but you weren't deterred. A night hike in a snowy wilderness, that's all this was supposed to be. But now, your throat burns with each panting breath. Your backpack is heavy, but ditching it out is out of question. Whatever stays chasing you, you're not sure you'll be able to escape it alive. Just as your mind gives into despair, so do your legs. You stumble on an unseen branch and fall face first into the snow. Crunch, crunch, crunch. As you scramble to ditch your backpack after all, slow footsteps approach from behind. The straps won't seem to cooperate with your bulky cold sleeves. You flail and struggle until they finally release you. But it's too late. You roll onto your back only to see a terrifying wolfman standing over you. What do we have here? Moonlight shines down on the two of you, revealing two piercing eyes and a grin full of sharp teeth. He asks you a question. I guess we're a rabbit. Kai's key. One of your ear twitches reflexively, poking itself out from beneath your parka's fluffy hood. The wolf's grin widens. A little lost rabbit. Everyone warned you about wolves, about winding up alone with them. You're certain you're about to be killed or eaten. Adrenaline spurs you into action. You scramble away, dragging your backpack behind you one by one of the straps. Instead of giving chase, the wolf laughs. Your desperation entertains him. Come on, I'm not gonna hurt you. He shouts after you. You can barely hear it over the sound of your own pounding heartbeat. Your legs carry you deeper into the woods on the path that slopes slightly downwards. The snow crunches loudly beneath your feet. Anywhere you go will leave a trail. He'll find you. How long can you keep running? You need to find somewhere to hide. A tree. Search for a cave. Keep running. A tree? Wolves can't climb, right? I don't think so. You scan your surroundings for the tallest tree you can find. Can wolves climb? They can't, right? Even if he does, you can fend him off from your higher position. Your backpack is full of things you can throw. You change direction, dashing towards a thick smattering of tall pines. You can't hear him chasing you. You have time. Rabbits are more of the burrowing type, but with human hands, you can do anything with you set your mind to. You peck out a tree with thick and sturdy branches. You're short, but you can reach the lowest point if you jump. Your hands grip the first branch, its weight slightly under the sudden added weight. Next, you swing your legs and push out the tree trunk to wake yourself up. Once you've hooked your boot on, you adjust yourself until you're lying on the branch sideways. You're climbing. You can do this. The weight of your backpack makes maneuvering a little annoying, but all your supplies are in there. If you're going to wait out the wolf, you'll need your sustenance. You make your way up the branches until you climb no further. You take a moment to catch your breath. Crunch. It's small and distant, but you hear a footstep. Hugging the wood tightly, you look down. The wolf is gazing up at you. It's too dark to read his expression, but you can't mistake his silhouette. Hey, you dropped something. He calls up to you in a raised voice. You stare down at him, unsure whether to believe what he's saying. He digs in his pocket for something and then holds it up for you to see. The small pink square is unmistakably yours. Your notebook. Want it back? You muster the courage to shout back at him. You tell him to leave it there. No can do. It'll get damaged sitting in the snow. You can hear the grin in his voice. He's trying to coax you down so he can eat you. You ask him why he's chasing you. To give this back, of course. What you think? This is too suspicious. You don't believe him, so you don't bother saying anything else. He sighs and begins circling a tree, treading slowly. Wolves like me have a bad rep, I know, but really, I'm just trying to do you a favor here. You won't listen. I could even escort you back home, if you let me. You don't really want to spend the night in a tree, do you? You wish he'd just leave you alone. Alright, I'll wait for you to come to your senses. Practically mutters that last part. The wolf shoves your notebook into his back pocket, then takes his seat against a tree. Your silent stalemate lasts for hours. The more time goes by, the more you convince yourself you can't possibly be this set on returning your notebook. If you climb down, he'll capture you, and your body will be devoured. You make yourself as comfortable as circumstances allow. You never slept in a tree before, but you imagine it's possible. Should you sleep though? Falling from this height would mean certain death, if not grave injury. And if you were to lose track with the wolf, you might climb down too quickly, only to be ambushed. You have no choice but to wait this out. You dig through your bag and pull out an energy bar. Then unwrapping it is a challenge. You remove your gloves and set them aside. The wind is stronger up here than it was on the ground. It's chilling you to the bone. When your trembling hands finally cooperate enough to open the wrapper, a surprise of this sudden gives clauses to you to fumble and drop it. Your precious source of calories fall, hitting a branch or two along the way before landing in snow with a pathetic thud. It's just within the wolf's reach. He leans over and takes it. Drop something again? He waves it while looking up at you. You'd hope he had fallen asleep down there, but he's apparently been wide awake this entire time. Are you offering this to me? Aw, you shouldn't have. You glare down at him while putting your gloves back on. You're hungry, but you'd rather not risk dropping anything else. What's in this? Chocolate? That's right, dark chocolate, nuts, and raspberry. You heard dogs would get sick if they eat chocolate. You tell him to go ahead and eat it if he wants. What else you got up there? I haven't had anything to eat today. He wants you to engage with him. Since he won't climb, he'll use his words to get you to come to him. You refuse to say anything else. You hear him sighing in annoyance, and then you hear the quiet crinkling of the snack's wrapper. He's eating it. Good, great. What a lucky turn of events, actually. Well, he's more of a wolf, so I don't know how this will turn out. Now all you have to do is wait for him to get sick from the chocolate. Then you can make your escape. You hunker down in your position at the top of the tree. You can make it home if you just hang in there. Just a little longer. Dawn breaks. Your eyelids are heavy from the sleepless night spent on high alert. You look down towards the base of the tree. The wolf hasn't moved an inch. Now one of his arms is down. His palm is facing up and his head is tilted away. Is he asleep? Did the chocolate in your energy ball kill him? You're so tired of being stuck in this tree. You're not about to spend another day up here, so you resolve to begin your descent. The branch you're sitting on shakes as you struggle to get your backpack on. Its straps are stiff and coated in frost. The wolf still hasn't moved. It could be that he's just pretending to sleep. Once you get a little further down, you'll be able to know for sure. You try to climb as quietly as you can manage. This horrible night will finally come to an end. You'll hit the ground running, unimpeded by darkness this time. Daylight's here, and you'll be able to make it home. Promise yourself never to try camping here again. If you could just make it down, you could just... Your foot slips. And suddenly, the tree's branches whir before your eyes. As the sun rises, you go plummeting to the ground. Your neck snaps on impact. I think they both died, huh? Fell from the tree while trying to escape from the wolf. Dead end. You received a human and witch keys, though. Okay. Check endings. I can check the endings, so we're not done with the rabbit route yet. Oh, there's a lot of routes. So we have 2 more for that. Got it. Okay, now let's search for a cave. We've always been taught that in times of danger, you should go underground. You need to find a cave to tuck yourself away in. You veer up towards a rocky cliff face and pray you find a cavern somewhere along its base. The further you run, the more you begin to lose hope. That isn't until... Surreptitiously, a cave appears. You hope you aren't cornering yourself by taking a chance on this. There's no telling how deep this cavern goes. Cautious but hurried, you make your way into the darkness, hoping you can conceal yourself for long enough for the wolf will end his pursuit. Hello? The wolf's voice echoes off the icy walls. He's already here. Was he that close behind you? You hadn't heard him at all, and yet he's calling out to you now? It at least means that he doesn't know where you are, but his footsteps are approaching. You continue your descent. You're far enough in that you can't see any moonlight reflected off the cavern walls. I wouldn't go too deep into there if I were you. He's coming. You hold your breath. You feel around in the darkness for a smaller passage to slip yourself through. You should have dished your backpack sooner. If you leave it here, he'll find it. But you can't keep going like this either. Finally, an opening. It's small, but you're sure you can fit through. You remove your backpack as quickly and quietly as possible. Just then, a bit of light catches your eye. You listening to me, Rabbit? I said you dropped your water bottle. Fancy metal one. It is yours, isn't it? You don't care. You need to get away. He's coming closer. You need to get away. You change forms. As a rabbit, your body is more flexible and with stronger legs. Just a little farther, then you'll be safely burrowed away where no ropes can reach. Begin to squeeze your way through the freezing rocks. But you are moving fast enough. He's going to catch you. I'm telling you, it's dangerous. His bony hand grabs your foot and you kick in a panic. You're free, but the feel of his claws linger on your foot. You continue to squirm your way forward, your heart gripped by fear. The wolf growls something behind you, but you can't make it out due to the cave's strange acoustics. You can't see anything. Your paws are cold. What are you standing on, ice? Crack? It's ice. That's why the floor is so smooth here. You're standing on... No, you aren't standing on anything at all. The biting cold pierces your fur, and freezing water pours down your throat and into your lungs. You feel helplessly in the darkness, no longer able to discern up from down. Soon your movement slow, until you can no longer feel your limbs at all. You drown in that cave, in a place where no wolves can reach you. Another dead end fell into the underground lake. You know what? Maybe the wolf isn't so bad after all. Hopefully. Hey, just keep running. No hiding will do you any good. He can track you, remember? You need to outpace him. You need to get back to civilization. Wolves always stay far away from other people. It's because they can't kill openly from inside the crowd. You knew there were other wolves lurking in the wilderness, but you came hiking out here anyway. What were you thinking, Camilla? You cursed yourself to distract from the burning in your throat. Swallowing hard, keep moving. The light of the full moon reflects off the snow, giving you enough vision to take each step with confidence. You run and run until you no longer sense the wolf behind you. Exhausted, you slow to a jog. It's too dangerous to stop moving, but you can't keep up this pace forever. It's a good thing you are in bad shape. If you could just make it back to town, you'd be safe. You hear something rustling in the trees. Is it just the wind? Your ears stand up straight, completely alert. Your pace slows even further as you listen hard for signs of your pursuer. Where are you running off to? The wolf's voice suddenly cuts through the silence, startling you. You resume your sprint. He's practically a hair's breadth away. How did he catch up to you so quickly? Come back, you dropped something. It's a lie. He's lying to you to get you to stop running. Nothing you leave behind can be worth your life. But you've been running for so long now, your legs won't move as fast as you want them to. Trudging through the snow like this takes so much more energy than the sidewalks you're used to from your more neighborhood jogs. Why can't you just stay in Daifuki? Is the cost of living out here really worth it when you end up in situations like this? Your mind, desperate for escape, starts pointing at everyone and everything to blame. If only you hadn't been born a prey animal, if only you hadn't gone hiking, if only this wolf would leave you alone. He's following you, but he hasn't caught up yet. That's when you realize. It isn't that he hasn't caught up yet, it's that he's matching your pace. He's toying with you. You're running for your life, and it's only a game to him. You snap, screaming back at the wolf, demanding he go off and chase someone his own size. Like I said, I'm just trying to give it back your lighter. He didn't say anything about that, unless, did you really drop it at some point? You look over your shoulder, doing your best to maintain momentum. In his hand is a small metal case. Its silver reflects in the moonlight. It really is your lighter. He wasn't lying about that. But you don't care about something like that. Lighters are replaceable. Your flesh and blood is not. You tell him you can keep it as long as he stops following you. Don't know where you're going, so that could be tough. You might be headed in that same direction and all. Where the hell does he think you're going? There's only one town in the area. You need to return to it so you'll be protected against predators like him. You're staying in Frosting? You let it slip. He knows where to find you. What's that place like these days? Me and some of the rabbits there go way back. You pick up the pace again. You can't keep feeding him information like this. Continue down your path. You seem to have ended up in rougher terrain. Instead of walking through open snowfields, you're weaving through cliff sides and large rock formations. And yet the wolf continues his relentless pursuit. And that's the wrong way, you know. Frosting's south of here. He's trying to trick you. If you trust his directions, they'll lead you straight into his maw. What are you running for anyway? I'm just trying to have a conversation. You have to keep running, because he definitely plans to eat you. If there was any question about it before, there isn't one now. Completely fed up, you shout back at him that you're running because you'd rather not be cooked into a stew. Come on now, I wouldn't cook you into a stew. Your ears pull back, his tone makes you shiver. Say, what would you want to be cooked into, hypothetically speaking? You don't want to be cooked. In a burst of speed, you propel forward. You're not panicking, you're not. When you realize what's in front of you, though, you slide to a desperate stop. You almost run yourself off a cliff. You struggle to regain your balance after the sudden change of momentum. The vertigo hits you next. You're on good heights. But the ground that looks so far below seems to be coming closer now. The wind feels like knives against your exposed skin, and you have all but 2 seconds to process the fact that your life is about to come to an end. As you fall, a sensation lingers on your back. The distinct impression of being pushed. Pushed? Pursued until you fell to your doom. And we've unlocked a rapid epilogue. You can view from the ending screen. Read epilogue. That's it? Oh man, we don't even survive. That's not fair. Let's jump to this. Dawn has broken and your son has yet to return from his night out. Oh. You stand watch at the edge of the glades as you usually do, waiting for his silhouette to emerge from the tree line. Finally he does. It comes as a relief each time, but he always reliably returns home. He's carrying something on his back. Once he reaches you, he drops it unceremoniously and smiles. Oh, made it home. You were out all night. What were you doing? Scavenging. Look, fresh rabbit. Were you seen? Lugging this back here? Nah, of course not. Should have left it for one of the others to find. But it's fresh, Mom. Hasn't even had a chance to freeze yet. Besides, I waited all night for this one. I want to prepare a feast for breakfast. Just don't get careless. Scavenging always carries some risk. Okay, so that bunny was right. I feel so bad for doubting them. Yeah, sure. It ain't my first choice either. Good boy. You ruffle your son's hair. You can't help but wag his tail a little, just like when he was small. This will keep us fed for a while. I'll help you skin it. You take over, beginning to drag the fresh meat by the scruff of his neck. Hey, I can at least carry it. You've had a long night. I'll handle the rest. Thanks, Mom. Breakfast in glazed that morning was exquisite. Well, that kinda sucks, because the wolf was hunting them in the end. Okay, we got the epilogue. Fell down water gave him wolf's prey in the end. 18 plus. Uh-oh. Okay, now the human and witch route. I'm excited for that. Let's go with that human. Your mouth opens to answer him, but no words come out. You're still catching your breath. You don't smell like a rabbit, but you sure did run like one. Is he going to hurt you? Why was he chasing you? Why didn't you stay in your tent? Why did you think you could make it out if you're all alone? What's the matter? You scared of wolves? How could he ask you that? People have gone missing on this mountain. Rumor has it they were eaten by wolves. Then why do you come out here to camp? You don't want to end up at the wolf's dinner. Weekly, you beg him not to eat you. Okay, relax. I'm not even hungry. If he's not hungry, then why is he chasing you? Indignant and exasperated, you demand an answer. You dropped something earlier. What? He reaches in his pocket and presents a small flashlight. Your flashlight. The same one you double-backed to find earlier, exactly when you noticed you were being followed. I'm Timber, and you are... I him cautiously, you tell him your name. If he's bothering to introduce himself, maybe you won't be eaten after all? Camellia. Nice to meet you. What's a human like you doing this far into the mountains you lost? It was really just hiking. Realistically. You explain that you're really into solo camping and baked Mount Sorbet as a sort of self-challenge. What? Don't tell me you came out here to die or something. That wasn't your intention, but considering the situation you wound up in, you can see how reckless his plan was. You'd be surprised how many bodies have stumbled on out here. Can't imagine it as anything other than a death wish. You said something threatening in his voice, but convince yourself with just your imagination. You're still coming down from that panic chase after all. Well, it's dark out. We better get you back to your campsite, Camellia. He's going to keep helping you? What's with that look? You think I just leave you out here by yourself? It's dangerous. Yes, very dangerous. A short time ago, you've been running for your life. When you point this out to him, he laughs again. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. If it hadn't run up so fast, I have returned that thing sooner. You click your flashlight on and gather your belongings. You're embarrassed for having dropped your main light source. Why didn't you pack your damn lantern? Timber quietly escorts you back through the woods, looking over your shoulder every now and again to check that you haven't fallen too far behind. You imagine he must have pretty good night vision. Do you really even need your flashlight anymore with him leading the way? Your ground is sloped slightly upward, but otherwise flat and even. You've hiked worse, but right now your legs feel like jelly. You haven't had a chance to eat anything yet, and exhaustion is setting in fast because of it. Your trudging footsteps slow. After a moment, Timber takes notice. You okay back there? He calls out to you, his breath visible in the cold night air. You could use a quick break. You wave to him, hunched under the weight of your backpack. Alright, take a rest for a bit. Timber steps lightly back to where you stand. You're surprised at how quiet his movements are. I can't stay out too late. My pack gets nosy when I'm out for too long on my own. His pack, so he's with a group of other wolves. It makes sense though. You hadn't really considered how a wolf like him could survive out here. Out of curiosity, you ask him about the size of his pack. Asking the guy his pack size when you only just met? I didn't expect that out of you, Cabelia. Your face flushes. That wasn't much you meant at all. Anyway, weren't you exhausted? Take a load off. He gestures to a nearby fallen log. The two of you take a seat, side by side, but a comfortable distance apart. You slip your gloves off and massage the back of your neck. You've definitely been overexerting yourself. Timber sits quietly next to you, gazing up at the moon. You've never seen a wolf up close before. Photos and drawings, sure, but it's different meeting one in person. It could be the exhaustion or your eyes playing tricks on you, but in this light you think he looks kind of soft and fluffy rather than ferocious. Remember his sharp teeth, how terrified you felt when he first stood over you. But here he is doing you a huge favor. He's even being patient and resting with you. I think he might be kinda nice. A couple minutes pass in silence. You start to worry that you're totally boring him. You feel inclined to make conversation. That's what he's doing out here. You asked him the first thing on your mind. What was he doing out here in the wilderness at night? Scavenging. He says it flatly. You wait for him to elaborate, but he doesn't. You've never given any thought to what it must be like living in the mountains. Camping, sure, but building a life here? During your trips, you've always brought meals from home rather than relying on foraging. It can be dangerous to eat any things you can't identify with absolute certainty. Could wolves really be satisfied just living off the land? You wonder what his diet is like. You ask him if he's a meat eater. Why? Still scared the big black wolf's gonna eat ya? He side-eyes you, his wide grin once again drawing your attention to his sharp teeth. I've never tasted human before. Wonder what kind of seasoning would be best. He isn't serious, and anyway, if he wanted to eat you, he would have done it already. You decide you're not afraid of him, and you let him know it. You could probably stand to be a little afraid. We're strangers after all. In the mountains, no one's a stranger. They're only fellow hikers. You give him a friendly smile. Be careful. You'll regret trusting me. Timber leans forward and gets to his feet. He stands before you, looking down with a big grin on his face. You should be all rested up now. Let's get moving. You nod and promptly reach for your backpack. Okay, not so fast. You grab the strap, your hands almost touching. This is what's wearing you out, right? I'll carry it for you. You agree, noting that it's fine as long as he doesn't run off with it. So you are suspicious of me. What happened to no one's a stranger? He smirks at you and you laugh awkwardly. I got you there. Timber heaves your belongings onto his back, then continues forward with it without complaint. You follow behind. A cold wind blows and you shiver from the sudden chill. You really ought to be snuggled up in your tent by now. Why did you bother going back for your stupid flashlight? Because of the snow, it was not so dark that you would have been useless without it. Could have been relaxing by the campfire this whole time, toasting delicious marshmallows. And now you realize you still haven't had anything to eat. You really should have busted out the trail mix while you were resting. All this because you thought a wolf was going to eat you. The same wolf who volunteered to carry your heavy backpack for you. You feel pathetic, beyond pathetic. Maybe the cold is making you extra depressed. Timber calls back to you, interrupting your thoughts. It's a little off from the direction you came, but I know a place nearby could take shelter. What do you think, Camilla? You want to keep going, or stop somewhere close? You're still wasting your campsite. Somewhere closer, maybe? You're tired, you're starving, and so relieved that you won't have to keep walking for much longer. Yeah, I thought so. Come on, it's this way. Timber leads you along a stream and towards a large rock face. The closer you get, the less you feel chilled by the wind. It's not exactly comfortable, but it'll protect you from the elements. Another small incline. The ground is more uneven here, but at least you aren't dealing with the extra weight of your bag. It won't be long until you can get some actual rest. Seriously, all you think about is how much your feet hurt right now. Watch your step. It gets a bit slippery from the... His warning came a little late. Your foot slips on an unexpectedly icy rock, and your arms swell out instinctively to balance yourself. Timber reaches out, grabs your wrist, helping you steady you. You thank him. You gotta find a better place to take your hiking trip. You'll get yourself killed out here. He's right. How easy would it be to slip and end up bashing your head in on a rock? Tell him you think twice about coming back here on your own. Going to bring a friend next time? You shake your head. You all seem more of a solo camper. But despite the circumstances, Timber's been good company. You let him know you appreciate his help. Yeah, you're alright. The cave's just up ahead. It's kinda cozy for a cave. Not too wet and drippy and protected from the freezing wind. Once you're inside, Timber slides your backpack off his shoulders and sets it down gently against a large rock. This should do for tonight. You know the way back to your campsite from here? You nod. You're carrying a map of the area, so you're confident you can figure it out. Glad to hear it. Get home safe tomorrow, alright? You stand awkwardly for a moment. Ask him to stay or say goodbye. He's low-key, well, we know how he is, but he's low-key cool. You can't really think of a good excuse, so you just tell him your honest feelings. You'll be lonely if he leaves now. I don't know, the other wolves are never gonna let me hear the end of it. There's something in his tone that tells you he wouldn't mind sticking around, though. Maybe you can bribe him? Food, that's right, you should eat now. Your eyes light up, and you run over to open up your backpack. What are you so excited about? Fruit sandwiches, a can of beans, a bag of jumbo marshmallows, cup noodles. None of these are meat. Well, I guess there's protein in these, but... Cup noodles? Is your favorite low-prep simple meal. Tasty cup noodle, chicken flavor. All you need to do is boil water, pour, and wait. You'll be eating warm, delicious ramen in no time. That does sound pretty tasty. Alright, you convinced me. Can't turn down free food. You give a celebratory cheer. You're so happy that you'll be able to repay his kindness. I'll get a fire going. Cave's atmosphere transformed into something warm and inviting. Campfire's crackling heat eases your soul. It's just you and Timber out here. How peaceful. He rubs his hands together and licks his lips. Time to eat. Noodles are ready. You lift the lid off yours, and a small puff of steam hits your face. You ask Timber if he's ever used chopsticks. I can cook it with them sometimes, the metal ones. You stir your noodles a bit, then raise a bite to your lips, blowing gently. They're versatile, but for eating, I like finger food best. You inform him sarcastically that eating cup noodles with his hands would not go well. Yeah, smartass. He kicks your boot playfully. You snicker while enjoying the rest of your noodles. Once you finish eating, you do a little cleaning up before relaxing by the fire. Your sleeping bag is back at the campsite, but luckily you keep an emergency blanket in your bag. You drape it over your legs. Is this how you're sleeping tonight? Like with everything he says, you feel like he's making fun of you. You ask him if he thinks you'll be warm enough. You got the fire for warmth. You won't freeze to death, probably. Probably? Okay, now you're starting to worry. What do you do, Camilla? Need someone to keep you warm? Sleep next to Timber? Well, it is for the warmth, you know? Assuming his offer is genuine, you're willing to take him up on it. Timber lies on his side with a flap of his oversized coat laid out for you to sleep on. Here, make yourself cozy. A little embarrassed, you lie with your back to him. He wraps you in his coat. His body's kind of bony, but it really is warm. He's like a heater. How's that? Think you can sleep like this? You definitely can, but is this comfortable for Timber too? Oftentimes, I'll sleep in a big pile with the rest of my pack. It's crowded, but nicer than sleeping alone. How considerate. You guess this kind of thing is normal for wolves then. You ask him why he's doing so much to take care of you tonight. Must be my maternal instinct. Doesn't he mean paternal? When you pointed out, he laughed. I don't remember my dad all that well, so I don't have a good frame of reference for what that looks like. You apologize. Nothing wrong with a guy being mothering anyways. Moms are right for their kids. That's respectable. You agree. Can't help but wonder what happened to his dad, but you find it hard to ask. Keeps you nice and warm, and you got to share a nice meal together. Exhaustion finally claims you. You fall asleep cuddled up in Timber's fluffy coat. When you wake, the sun has already begun to rise. Confused and a little chilly, you take in your surroundings. The fire's already gone out, your backpack has fallen over, fully unzipped, and your companion for the night before is nowhere to be seen. You gradually shuffle over to your backpack, thinking you'll gather your things and head back to your campsite, but your food is missing. He stole it, didn't he? That wolf had you completely fooled. The worst part is, if he just wanted more of your food, he could have just asked. You already had dinner together. You wallow in feelings of betrayal for a few minutes before checking your bag again, then zipping it closed. Worst thing could have happened, you suppose. Nothing of value was lost. Just when you thought you made a new friend. Well, he helped you make it through this cold night. That at least counts for something. Giving one last look around the cave, you begin your trek back to the campsite to collect the rest of your belongings. It's time to head home. And then during one night stand, spend the whole night with Timber, but he still left before breakfast. So Timber won't eat humans. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't blame him. But rabbits are no off the game. Let's be more open here to meet you. You flirt with him sarcastically, maybe half joking. He's got a handsome face at least. Is this your first time meeting a wolf and all? His voice is low and sultry. Oh no, he's hot. You admit that yes, he is the first wolf you met. Only domesticated dogs live around where you came from. In that case, I better leave a good impression. Wolves have a bad rep enough as it is. He looks away, contemplating something. Well, it's dark out. Better get back to your campsite, Camilla. Your mind dovetails straight into the gutter. You kind of want him to dominate you. A couple of minutes pass in silence. You start to worry that you're totally boring him. You feel inclined to make conversation. Ask if he's seeing anyone? Since he mentioned his pack, maybe he's not even single? You possibly pry, hoping to lay your lewd thoughts to rest. You're kidding, right? You hastily apologize, telling him to just forget you ever asked. How embarrassing. What, you want to make out or something? Tricking me into thinking you're tired so you can make your move? That's not it at all. You insisted you were joking, but he isn't convinced. Oh, I get it. You're curious about what it's like to kiss a wolf. He's closing the distance between you. You feel your heart is beating even faster than when he was chasing you. That's it, isn't it, Camilla? That's alright, you can say it. Laughing nervously, all you can manage is a half-hearted maybe. Timber is close now. You can't shrink away any further without falling from where you're seated. Come here. Timber takes your face in his hand, gently turning you towards him. Then slowly and deliberately, licks you from your chin all the way up to your cheek. Kinda salty. Your brain short-circuiting. What just happened? He lets go of your face and leans back, roaring with laughter. You can see now that you were being pranked. You should see the look on your face. You want to die. You wish he could just eaten you and be done with it. This is too humiliating. Now that you whine about how your face smells like a wolf's breath now. Yeah, well, you asked for it. You definitely didn't. As his laughter subsides, you start to regain your composure. Flirting with wolves is like playing with fire, you think to yourself. Tim leans forward and gets to his feet. He stands before you, looking down with a big grin on his face. You should be all rested up now. Let's get moving. Alright. You think I'd do that to you, Camilla? I thought you were bonding. Alright, and we leave their backpack and we follow behind. Let's keep going. Let's see where that leads us. I feel like he's testing you. It makes you want to prove to him that you're strong and can endure everything. Okay, tough guy, you sure you can hold out? You already said your tent before wandering off like an idiot. You honestly prefer to sleep in there than anywhere else. Timber continues on and you follow along with newfound resolve. Let me think a bit. How does he know the way to your tent? Did he really leave such a clear trail? Maybe it's your sticky pheromones, or, well, you hope you don't stink. When you finally reach a campsite, you're surprised at how far away you strayed from it. Your tent still stands undisturbed, ready to protect you from the elements, while you sleep soundly inside it tonight. But first, Timber slips your backpack off and sets it down in the snow beside your tent. He massages the back of his neck the same as you did earlier. How'd you run while lugging this thing around? My frickin' back hurts. It's your survival gear. You would have been in trouble if you lost your way without it. Still, it was really nice of him to help carry it. You apologize for burdening him and thank him for escorting you back here. Yeah, no prob. He looks off somewhere in the distance, considering something. Well, Camilla, looks like you're set for the night. I'll get out of your hair. Alright, you guess this is where you naturally be parting ways. Well, you asked him to stay, he might eat your food. Let's say goodbye. You thank him again for all his help and you apologize for your previous misjudgment, thinking he was going to eat you and all. Yeah, I considered it, but you're not bad, Camilla. See you around. He waves, turning his back to you, then begins his long walk back to the way you came. That was a joke, right? You climb into your tent and snuggle into your sleeping bag. It's been a long night. Time to get some rest. When you wake up the next morning, you find a bunch of your supplies missing, so you still came back? Maybe you could have stolen them. There isn't anyone else who knows you're out here except... It must have been some stranger. A bear or something. That's what you chose to believe. Pack up your things and begin the long journey home. You choose somewhere else for your next hiking trip? Yes, denial. Sayonara, sucker. Say goodbye to Timber, and some of your things still went missing by the morning. Yay, let's go with that witch this time. Smells like a witch. Didn't even have to say it. Animal folk are sensitive to the scent of magic. That's probably how he found you. That's probably how you kept on your trail, despite all those diversion spells you cast to escape. Is he going to hurt you? Why was he chasing you? Why didn't he stay in your tent? Why did you think you can make it out here all alone? What's the matter? You scared of wolves? How could he ask you that? People have gone missing on this mountain. Rumor has it they were eaten by wolves. You don't want to end up as wolves' dinner. Weakly, you beg him not to eat you. Relax, I'm not even hungry. If he's not hungry, then why is he chasing you? Indignant and exasperated, you demand an answer. Wait, is it a lighter? Oh no, it's a star this time. There's always something. Oh, you dropped something. Well, he was clearly stalking your campsite. He reaches in his pocket and presents a star-shaped wooden keychain, your warming charm. Snatch it out of his hand and hold it close to your chest, relieved. The biting cold of the snow melts away as you channel your magic into the small object. You've been searching for this. I'm Timber and you are? Eyeing him cautiously, you tell him your name. If he's bothering to introduce himself, maybe you won't be eaten after all? Camilla, nice to meet you. What's a witch like you doing this far into the mountains, you lost? Studying magic? You explain that this environment is uniquely suited to a few rare species of magical flora. You came here for field research. Research, huh? No wonder you look so underprepared, squishy little academic. Brave in the wilderness all on your own? Teases you with a smile. He'd be offended if you hadn't caught the underlying sentiment of concern. Well, it's dark out. We better get you back to your campsite, Camilla. He's going to be helping you. What's with that luck? You think I leave you here out by yourself? It's dangerous. Yes, very dangerous. A short time ago, you've been running for your life. When you point this out to him, he laughs again. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. If you hadn't run off so fast, I'd returned that thing sooner. You reattach your warming charm to your backpack, hoping this time the metal clasp will hold. How he had fallen off without you noticing, you still feel a little suspicious. Timber quietly escorts you back through the woods, looking over his shoulder every now and again to check that you hadn't fallen too far behind. You imagine he must have pretty good night vision. You don't feel the need to cast a light spell with him leading the way. The ground is sloped slightly upwards, but otherwise flat and even. You packed worse, but... Right now your legs feel like jelly. You hadn't had the chance to eat anything yet, and the exhaustion is setting in fast because of it. You turn your footsteps slow. After a moment, Timber takes notice. You okay back there? He calls out to you, his breath visible in the cold night air. You could use a quick break. You wave to him hunched under the weight of your backpack. You don't get much exercise, do you? He's teasing you again. It's not your fault. Witches aren't exactly known for their physical prowess. Timber slightly steps back to where you stand. You're surprised at how quiet his movements are. I can't stay up too late. My pack gets nosy when I'm out on my own for too long. His pack stays with a group of other wolves. Makes sense though. You hadn't really considered how a wolf like him could survive out here. Out of curiosity, you ask him about the size of his pack. Ah, yes, the size. Alright, and let's rest on that log. I wonder what's gonna happen with the... Now that we're having a witch here. So let's ask about his pack. You're curious about the other wolves in the mountain. You dodged the question last time, but now you're prepared to phrase it better. My home's called Glaze. That's all I can say about it. Press him. What's there to be so evasive about? He folds his arms and tilts his head to the side, thinking. It's better if less people know where to find us. Safer that way. Safer for the wolves? They used to kill us, you know. The midships. There's a weight to his words that makes you afraid to press any further. And now we get by on our own. It's peaceful, so long as no one shows up to disturb us. You realize you must have been intruding on his pack's territory. You apologize for that. Nah, you're just passing through. Nothing to apologize for. Timber leans forward and gets to his feet. He stands before you, looking down with a big grin on his face. You should be all rested up now. Let's get moving. You nod and promptly reach for your backpack. Hey, not so fast. He grabs the strap your hand almost touching. This is what's wearing you out, right? I'll carry it for you. You agreed, noting that it's fine as long as he doesn't run off with it. You think I'd do that to you, Camilla? I thought we were bonding. Timber heaves your belongings onto his back, then continues forward without complaint. You follow behind. A cold wind blows and you shiver from the sudden chill. That's right, your warming charm is attached to your backpack. When you're too far from it, the magic fades and it stops working. You want to ask to take it back, but you really don't want to slow Timber down even more than you already have. He said he wanted to go home to his pack, didn't he? You bear with the cold for now. Your clothes are at least suited for the weather. And now you realize you still haven't had anything to eat. You really should have busted out the trail mix while you were resting. All this because you thought the wolf was going to eat you, the same wolf who volunteered to carry your heavy backpack for you. And we're gonna feel pathetic. Who should we choose? Keep going or somewhere closer? Maybe we should just keep going. Animal folk do have sensitive noses, but seeing it in action is rather impressive. Alright. And we're back. Let's ask him to stay this time. Fruit sandwiches, a can of beans. Let's roast some marshmallows. Digging through your bag, you present a bag of marshmallows, chocolate bars, and graham crackers. You're making s'mores tonight. You're offering sweets to a wolf? He isn't impressed, as a witch you assume everyone just had as big of a sweet tooth as you do, but now you feel silly. You encourage him to try it. Alright, convince me. Can't turn down free food. Give him a celebratory cheer. You're so happy you'll be able to repay his kindness. I'll get the fire going. The atmosphere around your tent transports into something warm and inviting. The campfire's crackling heat eases your soul. It's just you and Timber out here. How peaceful. He rubs his hands together and licks his lips. Time to eat. You offer to show off your expert marshmallow roasting technique. Huh, mine's burning. You tell him it won't be any good if it's all charred up. You have to rotate it so it heats evenly. You're making me want to eat barbecue. You really don't have any meat, Camilla? Much to Temper's disappointment, there isn't a single strip of jerky in your bag. Well, can't complain too much. It's kind of fun trying something new anyway. Soon enough, your marshmallow is toasted to perfection, but when you break off a piece of chocolate, you finally realize wolves can't eat chocolate, can they? Are your s'mores going to poison him? Timber laughs as he assembles his s'mores, following your instructions. Don't kill me, I can digest anything. He says that, but you're a little worried. He takes a big bite to show that he's not kidding. The gooey marshmallow balloons out from between the graham crackers, and the crumbs spill down his shirt. It's kind of messy, not bad though. You bite into yours too, messy but delicious. And and once you finish eating, you do a little cleaning up before relaxing by the fire. You kept Timber out pretty late by now, and you start wondering if you were causing trouble for his pack. When you express your concern, he smiles wearily. You think that I should get out of here? And that's not it at all. You're the one who asked me to stick around. Change your mind already? He sprawled out comfortably by the fire. Doesn't look like he has any intentions of leaving, whether you told him to or not. You insist that you weren't trying to say he overstayed his welcome, though. In fact, you'd like to learn a little more about Bulb. He's not what you expected at all. Yeah, what do you expect? Someone more ferocious, bloodthirsty? Wouldn't say bloodthirsty. Why not? That's what they said about my dad. You asked what his dad looked like. Like me, but taller. In that case, it isn't too surprising that someone would be afraid of him. You were intimidated by Timber at first, too. You're sure you wouldn't think that if you met his dad now, though. You asked if there's any chance you could see him and find out. No, can't do. Why not? Because it'd be dangerous to bring in an outsider? Remember how I told you they used to kill us? That's what happened. The crack over the campfire seems to get louder and louder the longer his words hang in the air. You aren't sure how to respond. Should you offer condolences? What use are condolences from a stranger? From someone who mistook this wolf for a violent predator at first sight? You apologize for running from him at least. Huh. Well, you never know. I might have eaten you if I thought you'd make a good meal. You laugh, saying there's no way you could have tasted any better than the dinner you shared tonight. Yeah. Timber sits up and adjusts his coat before getting to his feet. Thanks for the food. He turns to leave. But wait, why? You asked where he's going. You got me in a good mood, and now I'm saying too much. I better get home. Home to Glaze? Yeah, my pack's waiting for me. Timber's sigh is a bit overdramatic compared to his serious tone from a moment before. I was supposed to be looking for food, instead I'm gonna be the only one who's gonna eat tonight. You're starting to feel the weight of how difficult it really is to survive out here. You came here for your studies, but compared to Timber, you're just playing around. You still have plenty of marshmallows left in your bag. It isn't much, but you offer your extra food to Timber as a parting gift. Sure, I was thinking of stealing it anyway. He was? I'm kidding. You see the look in your face. This doesn't solve the problem, but it helps, so thanks. Timber pockets your meager offerings and turns to leave again, his tail swaying to and fro behind him. But after a few steps, he pauses. Oh yeah, this was the first time out here, wasn't it, Camilla? How'd you like it? Well, it's pretty nice, you know, even though it's really chilly and cold. Despite the harsh weather, the scenery is rather wonderful. You love it here. Glad to hear that. It's my home, so it's nice when others see how great it is too. See you around. He waves you off, then disappears into the night. When you wake up the next morning, there isn't another soul in sight. The light of dawn spills over the horizon and reflects brightly against the glistening hills around you. It really is beautiful out here. You see why Timber's pack would stay, despite it being difficult to survive in this environment. You gather your things and prepare for the long journey home. Maybe you'll visit again during a warmer season? You learn more about wolves and gain a deeper appreciation for the other way of light. Okay, we got a wolf key. Unlock the witch epilogue. Check endings. And read this epilogue. Wonder what these three are. You've been waiting on this hill for a while. Without your warming charm, you'd be shivering out here in the snow. It's lonely, but it'll be worth it, assuming you're in the right place. The wolves of Mont Sorbet are pretty elusive. When you asked the other traders of the guild, only a few of them had any useful information. During the winter months, this is the spot. If you wait here, someone will show. Wolves are an underserved population. People tend to be afraid of them, so they live in remote areas where it's more difficult to trade. You thought as someone who's learned not to fear wolves, you ought to become one of the few merchants that bothers to come all the way out here. So here you are with a bag full of goods and hope in your heart. I hope that maybe you can find the guy who changed the course of your life and thank him for it. Finally, you hear someone approach. You look up to see... Wolf? A wolf really showed up. Hi, I came to trade with you today, if that's okay. You hold your bag with a friendly smile. The wolf studies you a moment, before turning tail and running off in the direction they came. Did you say something wrong, or are you supposed to follow them after them? When the wolf looks back over their shoulder, it becomes clear to you they're gonna lead you to the pack. Clumsily trot through the snow after them. They take you somewhere even higher up the mountain, to an open area tucked between the cliffs and trees. Small houses built from ice and snow are scattered around the area. You can see about 8 of them from where you're standing. So this is how the wolves live. It's a cute little village. Hey, heard you came to trade with us. A familiar face suddenly appears. Yes, Timber, do you remember me? Should I? Don't recognize ya. You being that night feels so impactful to you, but of course to him you're just some random witch. Completely embarrassed, you try to change the subject immediately. No, that's okay, let's get down to business. I brought a wide variety of foodstuffs, fruits, fresh vegetables, meat. Nah, you knew my name, this is gonna bother me. Where'd we meet? About a year ago, but really, it's okay, I shouldn't have expected you to remember my face, it was dark and all. He isn't about to let it go, though. Are you the guy who let me use his shower? No, we eat s'mores together. He thinks hard for a moment, then snaps his fingers. Marshmallow guy. My name is Plum. Yeah, Plum, that was it. It's almost more embarrassing that your conversation became so drawn out because of this. You regret bringing it up at all. So you're a trader now. Don't remember you mentioning anything about that when we first met. You're still not convinced he remembers anything about you at all, other than the marshmallows. I wanting to do some more traveling, so I thought this would be a good way to get out into the world. A few wolves run by, barking in unison. Hey, we're conducting business over here. Huckle me about it later, why don't you? One of the wolves stops to growl at Timber. I don't know, Crystal, does it really matter right now? Bark bark? The wolf named Crystal runs off after snapping at him. Sorry about that, so you say you brought meat and stuff? Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't help but ask. What were they saying? Don't worry about it, they're just jealous you're getting all my attention. You laugh awkwardly. Maybe you should bring out a translation charm next time? Timber motions for you to follow him into one of the houses. The first of your many dealings with wolves begin. Okay, we got the witch epilogue and everything's been so positive. Nothing very serious happened. I mean, the rabbit dying is bad, but like, everything's been so positive so far. Last but not least, the wolf. How will react to another wolf? With a tremble, why are you scared? With a tremble in your voice, you could tell him you're a wolf, same as him. Same as me, that's a stretch. To tell between your legs like that, you look more like some kind of domesticated dog. Truth be told, you're a husky. And there's certainly, you're a husky and you're acting like that. A difference, but the people around you have never cared about the distinction. Why should you? As you sit up, he backs off. Your hood falls down between you, revealing 2 big fluffy dog ears. Well, your ears look like mine anyway. Where are you from? None around here, you answer vaguely. The wolf man huffs, then holds his hand out to you. The name's Timber, and you are? You're surprised he suddenly introduced himself. Wasn't he just chasing you a minute ago? He catches your confusion and flashes you a big, sharp-toothed grin. Those ought to stick together. Let's be friends. Hesitating for a moment, you take his hand. You give him your name, too. Camila. Nice to meet ya. Timber helps you off the ground. You lean over to dust the snow off your knees. Oh, that's right, you dropped this. He presented the folded pocket knife. The piercing blue casing tells you it's yours. Then how does he know that? What you initially went looking for before you noticed him tailing you. You take it, but you can't help but asking how he knew it belonged to you. See anyone else around here? You glance around the quiet, dark woods. You don't doubt it that it really is just the 2 of you out here. Timber tilts his head a little, studying your face. Now that I see you up close, the thing matches your eyes, too. You ask him if that's supposed to be a compliment. He laughs. Could be. He slips the knife into your pocket where it belongs and picks your backpack off the ground. You got a place to take shelter for the night, Camellia. You set up camp by a camp by the time you realize your pocket knife is missing, so yes, you have a place to stay. Campsite is a little far, though. You're worried about walking all the way back there in the dark. In that case, why don't you come with me to the Glaze? My pack will take care of you. His pack? There are more wolves out there? You're surprised by the invitation, but you guess you shouldn't be. You're a wolf too, so it's not like you have to worry about getting eaten. Huskies are a type of wolf. I mean, kind of when you look at them, they look kind of friendly. Some of them do. You're starting to feel silly for running for your life earlier. You seriously thought Timber was a bear. How big is he? He burst into a fit of laughter at that. I've never run into bears out here. A snow leopard, maybe. You laugh with them. Feels like you made a friend. Timber turns on his heel and motions for you to follow. You're headed to Glaze. You adjust the scarf around your neck as you trudge through the snow. It's gotten a lot colder since the sun went down. You ask Timber how he could stand to walk around with his coat unzipped like that. What, in this? It's practically spring already. There's an awful lot of snow to call this springtime. You're not used to temperatures like this at all, despite how you look. Had to grow up in it, I guess. You don't like the snow? Winter is actually your favorite season, aesthetically, at least. You don't love being so cold that you're shivering. Wait, don't huskies, like, go out in the snow, though? And, like, cover themselves? Or maybe I'm thinking of another dog. What brings you out here anyway, Camilla? Just the aesthetic? Camping? Looking for love? Escapism? You know what, let's go for that love option. You tell him, jokingly, that you came here looking for love. Not a lot of hot singles in the area. What, is your dating pool back home even worse? You ask him if he's a hot single. Guess that depends on whether you think I'm hot. You stutter something about everyone being comparatively hot when the weather's this cold. You hope he doesn't notice your cheeks have gotten plush. He sniggers and thankfully changes the subject. Winter used to be cooler here, or at least it felt like it. Maybe it's just that I haven't been out at night in a while. Temperatures always plummets up to sundown. But if you had known to be freezing, you probably would have stayed home. Don't worry. Me and the other wolves will warm you up. More wolves to flirt with. You're too shy to say it, but you feel pretty excited to meet them. The two of you continue walking for some time. Just when you're about to ask how much farther it is, Timber points to a small path up ahead. Through there, just up the hill. Now that you're almost there, your nerves are starting to set in a little. Is it really okay to trust Timber and his pack just because they're wolves like you? What if they're like bad wolves that hunt people? How can anyone live in an extreme environment like this? What if everyone other than Timber is all tough and mean? It's too late to turn back now, though. You try to hush your anxieties. It's rude to make assumptions after all. A wolf with long white hair stands patiently in the snow with folded arms. Timber waves to her. That's my mom. Yeah, she's on watch tonight. Timber's mom. You step it up a little. Will you be able to make a good impression? She's facing towards the two of you, but she doesn't move from her spot. You aren't being ignored, are you? You wonder if something's wrong, but then you realize she might just be staring you down to intimidate you. Once you get closer, you notice that one eye hidden beneath her bangs is scarred badly. It is exactly the kind of hardened mountain wolf you were afraid of. Who's this? Her voice is surprisingly smooth and gentle. You start to introduce yourself, but Timber suddenly puts a hand on your head. He ruffles your hair right between your ears. Their name's Camilla. Found them running around the woods in the dark. And whose fault is that? You squint at him, but you don't say anything. You shouldn't be traveling through the mountains at night. You could get hurt. Okay, now this isn't fair. You already set up camp when... Wait, why isn't Timber the one getting in trouble here? He was the one running around in the dark, too. It's different for me, and like you, I know where I'm going. Timber shoves both hands in his pockets and looks away. It's a fair point, but... Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tundra, the eldest member of Blaze. Why don't you stay tonight, Camilla? We can't offer much, but our arms are always open to fellow wolves. Tundra's smile was warm. You nod to her shyly. A fellow wolf. We're happy to hear those words. Whether or not I can trust these wolves, staying for one night certainly can't hurt. Timber gave back your pocket knife after all. You'll be able to defend yourself if it comes down to that. The three of you start up the path and enter further into the glades. The snow is beating down here, making it much easier to walk. But rather than the boot prints you expect, there are instead the distinct impression of large paws. Timber's back. Timber, Timber! A pair of wolves came barreling towards you, each with their tongues hanging out of the side of their mouth. Notably, they're in their animal form. This explains the paw prints, you think? We got a guest. Everyone be on your best behavior for Camellia. The wolves take turns jumping on Timber and getting scritches behind the ears. You don't think they're listening to him. Who's Camellia? How long are you staying? The voices come out as barks and whines, but you can understand them perfectly. Timber looks to you, nodding to introduce yourself. You tell them that you're on a camping trip and that you'll be heading off once the sun's back up and it's safe to travel again. That's so short. You won't have time to meet everyone. These wolves were so excitable. You wonder how old they are, judging by their size, maybe teenagers? Now, Ember, can you go and let everyone know Camellia is here? Okay. The wolf called Ember suddenly bolts off, flinging bits of snow behind him as they go. Who's hungry? I'll cook up a snack. I want to eat chicken. You already had your dinner. We need to pace ourselves for the next few months. Now feels like a good time to mention that you're carrying a decent amount of food in your backpack. You'd be happy to share some with them, especially considering they're giving you shelter for the night. So there's enough to go around. We could treat ourselves for the night. Timber pats her back, signaling for you to follow him, but Tinder moves to block his path. Before that, a quick word. Huh? Sure, Mom. Timber steps away from you, shoving his back into his pocket. Listen, make yourself at home, Camellia. I'll catch up in a bit. You watch as he goes, a little worried about suddenly being left alone. The one remaining wolf smiles up at you. The best the wolf can smile, anyway. Want to meet everyone, Camellia? To appreciate the hospitality, you asked her name. I'm Juniper. Over there is Charcoal, Crystal, and Pine, and... Slow down, you can't figure out who Juniper is even pointing to. Top of that, Timber and Tundra seem to be the only wolves in human form. You wonder if everyone is more comfortable this way. Juniper huffs in an exaggerated show of frustration, then walks in quick little circles before plopping down in front of you. Who do you want to meet first, Camellia? Miss Wolf? Gray, pink. I want to meet the pink one. Yeah, can't help but notice one of these wolves is inexplicably pink. You have to find out what's going on here. It can't be their natural fur color, can it? Pine, this is Camellia Pine. Juniper proudly handles the introductions. You raise a hand, waving shyly. Yeah, Ember told me already. Welcome to Glaze, Camellia. I wonder how to bring it up. His pink coat. Would it be rude to ask, or is it more rude to stare? Oh no, you're totally staring. Pine got turned pink by a witch. Ah. To your massive relief, Juniper has smartly intuited the exact thing you're dying to ask. Thanks, Juniper. You think you were off by now. It's been over a year. Why would a witch do something like that, though? Seems like a wild prank to pull. I was trying to chase him out of her territory. She meant to do some other spell, I think. Can't believe she had the nerve to keep coming back after that. Her and that green-haired alchemist. Green-haired alchemist? Hold up. You asked if the witch turned the alchemist's hair that color, too. Could be. Not longer than hair dye would anyway. I wish my fur was green. I stand out so much. Juniper already stands out quite a bit, you think. Where are you from, Camellia? Got a bit of a magic smell to you. This is the second time you've been asked that question tonight. You were doing your best not to think about home while you were out here. Tell him it's a town that with a lot of witches, but don't elaborate further. If you can get jerky from there, that sounds like paradise. It isn't, but she's right that it has good food. Now you wish you brought more. Let's talk to the green one. You point out one of the gray wolves. Juniper dashes ahead to meet them, and you follow. Charcoal, meet Camellia. The gray wolf glances at you, then back to Juniper. Where'd they come from? Timber brought him. And where's Timber? Juniper hops back and forth, wagging her tail like crazy. He's cooking a chicken. For the outsider? Charcoal's ears fold back, and you find yourself suddenly being glared at. You're starting to feel like a bit of a burden. If their food is so limited, Timber shouldn't have offered it to you. Come to think of it, where do they get their food? Packaged meat isn't something you can forage, obviously. We trade with witches. Everyone works hard to collect things the witches will give us for meat. But they only come a few times a year. When we run out of food, we're forced to scavenge. Now you definitely feel like a burden. Maybe you should pass on that fried chicken. Juniper cuts in, rolling over in the snow and looking up at you sweetly. Charcoal's a good scavenger. Timber's always picked him for scavenging duty. That's because I'm strong. I can carry anything home. You thought they were talking about foraging, but now you're a little confused. What would be so heavy? Wait, that's right, you should offer them some of your food. You take out your backpack off and set it on the ground to start digging through. Oh, what are you looking for, Camellia? You brought your favorite beef jerky. Wow, jerky, it smells so good. You let the two wolves know that you'd be happy to share with them in exchange for Timber's cooking. Not a very fair trade. Timber's a great chef, you know. Charcoal throws his nose up at your offering, but Juniper continues sniffing it energetically. Can I have charcoal share? Hey, I didn't say I wouldn't eat it. You open the package and hold it out to them. The jerky is devoured within seconds. That's not bad. Alright, Camellia, you're okay in my book. You won Charcoal's approval. Apparently these wolves can be bought easily. Alright, now we have the white one. You point to a wolf with lighter fur than the others. Juniper happily leads you over to them. You're still Timber's brother friend. This is Camellia. Friend, don't be naive. Crystal thumps her tail on the ground and reminds you of an annoyed cat. He's never mentioned you before. Can you really call yourself a friend? It was Timber who said he wanted to be friends in the first place. You don't get why this wolf is being so prickly about it. Juniper whispers to you loudly. Crystal doesn't like when other wolves get too close to Timber. Don't say it like that. I'm telling this to Camellia for their own good. Juniper's Crystal snaps at Juniper, who bounds away playfully. This is starting to breed out jealousy to you, but you try to keep an open mind. It's probably best to make your intentions known. You tell her you're interested in Timber, but he's the one who chased after you from the start. You expect her to snap at you next, but she doesn't. Instead, she turns her head, pouting. Just don't expect anything long-term to come of it. Timber doesn't believe in pair bonding. Okay, this definitely sounds like jealousy. The appeal of flirting with strangers is that it's almost certainly won't lead to anything long-term, but you hold your tongue this time. She's already angry. Don't get too close to him. He'll break your heart, Camellia. You thank her for the advice. You're still not sure where this night will lead, but heartbreak is nothing new to you anyway. You might just risk it. Krista walks off, tail swaying lightly side to side. Juniper returns to your side shortly after. She prods at your hand with her snout. What did Crystal say? You assured her that it was nothing. By this time, Timber seems to have finished his conversation with Tundra and has started on cooking. Flirting with the other wolves would have been too awkward after all. You guess you'll stick to Timber, despite Crystal's warning. You'll let Juniper know you're going to head back over to him and see what you can do to help out. Okay, I guess you don't need me anymore, huh? You thank Juniper for being so welcoming to you. She gladly accepts a pat on the head. I'm good, yay! She runs up happily. So much energy for this time of night. Cooking equipment is set up in the center of the village. You take off your backpack and place it nearby. Heat from the fire is a welcome comfort. You warm yourself a little until Timber comes back around. Already finished meeting everyone? You work fast, Amelia. You admit that you don't quite have the energy to go around introducing yourself to every single wolf and glaze tonight, but you at least met a few. Not a problem. We're giving my niece something to eat first. That's right, Tundra mentioned that Juniper had already eaten. What about everyone else? Was Timber cooking just for you? And what was it that Tundra pulled him away to talk to about earlier? You're curious, but you aren't sure this is the best time to ask. Timber is occupied with cooking. Stare longingly? Ask about Tundra. Let's just stare for the meantime. You're content to sit there and watch Timber in action. You're not great at cook yourself, so you assume you just get in his way. Timber cheerily chops up some cabbage and gets a pan of oil ready on the cooktop. You don't want to bother him, so you continue to watch in silence as he gets the food ready. The lighting reminds you of being around a campfire. It sort of is one. It feels a little romantic. You can't see his face perfectly, but he's wearing the same grin as he always does. His tail wags lazily behind him. You guess he enjoys cooking. He offered to do it for you without hesitation. You rest your cheeks in your hand, feeling a wave of exhaustion hit you after sitting idly for a moment. Good food and some place warm to sleep. It's more than you could have asked for when you showed up here. Timber's so nice. You love getting to feel taken care of. You let him take care of you in other ways too. Yeah, we can see that. The sizzling oil in the pan brings you back to reality. You shake your head to wake yourself up a little more. Timber suddenly speaks up. You do eat meat, don't you? I guess I should have asked first. I'd like to eat his meat. No, what are you thinking? You're getting way too distracted by the appeal of a man who cooks for you. You smile and let him know fried chicken is one of your favorite foods. Good to hear. Sorry to get a little worry a little, but with you being so quiet. You admit that you're enjoying watching him cook. It looks like he's having fun. Yep, I live to serve. You feel like your heart's gonna melt. You want him to cook for your every meal for the rest of your life. The food is ready in what feels like no time. It smells amazing. Nipper serves you up a plate, offering a fresh pair of chopsticks. You take a bite of the chicken as soon as it's cool enough to eat. It's so tender and delicious. This is better than anything you've had from a restaurant. Well, not that you can afford anything other than fast food, but saying his cooking's better than that feels like a low bar. Chicken! Trooper and Umber come barreling back over once they realize the food is ready. Hey, you each get one piece. Let Camellia eat their fill, alright? Okay. There's really nothing better than eating delicious fried chicken in the crisp night air. You and the other wolves chow down. Timber encourages Jennifer and Umber to eat their greens too. Hey Camellia, I know we didn't get a chance to talk, but I'm happy another wolf came to visit. You never get to see other wolves, so I thought it was cool. Hearing him call you a wolf makes your heart swell. You offer him some of your cabbage. Yuck. I don't want to eat any more of that stuff than I have to. Timber shoots him a look and Ember goes running off. That guy never eats his damn vegetables no matter what I tell him. You let Timber know he sounds like a parent right now. Nah, I'm not cut out for that. I'm more like an older brother. Seriously, I go through all the trouble of making these balanced meals just for them to snub the veggies. Why even bother? Timber continues muttering complaints as he gathers up everyone's empty plates. The wolves here really do feel like a family. It's so nice that they let you join them for the night. Now that there's a fire out though, the temperature feels like it dropped considerably. You rub your hands together and breathe into them for warmth. This catches Timber's attention, and he stops as he walks by, nudging your shoulder. You can sleep at my place, Camellia. Is that alright with you? You nod enthusiastically. You were hoping things would develop in this direction. How desperate are you? Head inside if you want. I'll just be a sec. Timber gestures to the ice house behind you, the same one you saw him run into and out of earlier. Head inside or stay? Let's stay. Won't let him get rid of you that easily. Maybe we can offer to help him clean up. Thanks, but there's not much left to do. Wasn't exactly cooking a 5-course meal out here. You ask him why he went through all the trouble of cooking you something to begin with. He would have been happy even with a can of beans for dinner. Nah, that's too sad. You have to have something a little special for the occasion. What occasion exactly? Seems to be in a particularly good mood all night. Well, yeah. I was supposed to be scavenging, but I found you instead. His words are like an arrow through your heart. Does he realize how smooth he's being? Thankfully, he doesn't seem to notice your face turning bright red. You try to calm yourself down. Timber wraps up his cleaning and pats you on the shoulder as he walks by. Come here, I'll take you someplace quieter. Quieter place for some time alone? I hope this means what you think it means. You follow behind him, past some trees, to a somewhat secluded hill. The starry night sky is much brighter out here than it is back home. When you look up, you're a little afraid it will swallow you whole. You can't help but stare up at it though. There's not much to block your view of the horizon this high up in the mountains. It's just you and Timber out here in the snow. Comment how beautiful this place is. Yeah, you think so too? Wouldn't anyone? It's cold, but you have your scarf and a belly full of warm food. You feel perfectly content. Hey, Camellia, what's your impression of our pack? I'm curious. You're the best part. You know what? Let's go out in the open. You're the best part of it. You can't help but stare yourself from saying Timber is the best thing about Glaze. He snickers at you. Yeah, what makes you say that? When he cocks his eyebrows, your heart skips a beat. Kinda wish he'd just start kissing you right then and there. Instead, you stammer something about never meeting anyone like him before. Of course not. One of a kind. We hope you can be a one of a kind for him too. You try opening up to him. You explain that you come from a town where witches and cats were in the majority. Cats are a favorite type of familiar for witches, and dogs like you tend to be feared by them. Witches never take your side when it comes to this stuff, because why would they? You're just some stray pet. Compared to back home, where you're constantly nervous about accidentally intimidating others, a place like Glaze is perfect. It was a bit of a stretch. Maybe it used to be. Like when I was a kid. Shit was normal back then. You ask what he means by that. Timber takes a big breath, then exhales through his nose. He turns his gaze to the snow at his feet, kicking it lightly. A couple of decades back, a group of rabbits set up a little township in our territory. It's a big mountain, right? Can't hurt to share. You nod reflexively. Except rabbits don't like to share, they just eat everything. Clearing out trees to build their houses, plucking so much out of the ground it doesn't get a chance to grow back. They take whatever they want and they'll keep taking until nothing's left. There ain't shit we can do about it either. There were no negotiations and violence, and now we just stay the hell away. His tone is grave. You're a little taken aback by the intensity. I guess that's why they eat rabbits? I wish there was a peaceful solution to this. What I'm trying to say is, if all those cats do is avoid you, consider yourself lucky. Could always be worse. Unsure of how to respond, you look up at the stars. At least it's pretty out here. Tinder smiles at you. Sure is. You head back into Glaze together. Your heart pounds like crazy as he takes you by the hand, leading you into his home. There isn't much inside Timber's house. There's a couple of baskets of supplies and a large blanket laid over the icy floor. It would have been kind of funny if he had some snow furniture, an ice block for a table at the very least. Your own home is a little sparse too, which helps you feel a lot more comfortable here. Let me get your bed ready. Sorry for keeping you up so late. You let him know that you don't mind. You barely even feel tired right now. He rolls out a sleeping bag for you right next to his. You okay here, Camellia? We're obviously going to move closer. The gap between them is already small, but you should just close in that gap completely. He slices all the way over, then looks back up at you for confirmation. Here? You nod, keeping eye contact. You plan to snuggle up to me during the night? Kinda want to get to that part as soon as possible, even a vague answer. So thirsty. Timber strips off his coat and tosses it to the side. You follow suit, taking a seat on the blankets to untie your boots. Soon enough, you're both tucked comfortably into your sleeping bags. Timber lies with his arms folded behind his head. You stare at him, unsure of what to say. He glances over at you, then smiles. I know what you're thinking. When's he gonna screw me, right? And that is not what you're thinking. You protest, feeling your cheeks get hot. Timber laughs. Keep making eyes at me. Tell me if I got the wrong idea. He isn't wrong, but saying it like that. You roll over in embarrassment and bury your face in the sleeping bag. Aw, you're shy. Well, don't worry. I won't do anything you don't ask for. So if you do ask for something, you'll do it? I don't know how explicit this is gonna get. Put it as 18 mature because I just wanted to see. You stumble over your words a bit, but you find a way to express that you would like to mess around with him. You're still too embarrassed to look at him. Your face must be bright red. Oh. Timber wraps his arm around you, pulling you close. His body is warm against your back. Alright, but we gotta be convert about it. Ain't got any doors in this place, well, clearly. I promise not to make a sound. Pulls your shirt up a little, enough to slide his hand under. You expect his fingers to be colder. Wait, this is happening. He's actually gonna do that with you. How long have you been waiting for this? Could have said something sooner. Speak softly. You mutter something in response, but you're too turned on to think straight. Okay, they're going all loose. You loosen your scarf a little, afraid you'll overheat. When you do, his lips press against the nape of your neck, your shivering response. You can't keep your tail from wagging and hitting his leg. You try to stutter out an apology. It's fine. It just means you want more, right? You nod aggressively. You're so glad you don't have to say it out loud. It takes a second to undo your pants, giving you more kisses in the meantime. Why is he so good at this? He seems way more experienced than you are. He doesn't give your mind time to wander at all. His fingers are going to work now, drawing your attention to one thing only. Can't help but whimper inside. Just feels so good. He puts his hand over your mouth and leans in even closer to whisper in your ear. Quiet, remember? He holds you there, continuing to stroke you with his other hand. Being constrained like this is really doing it for you. Okie. There was maybe a taste in the response, and before you know it, he sent you completely over the edge. And he takes your hand off your mouth. You good? You mumbled affirmatively, melting into a warm puddle of satisfaction. You good, dog? He leans his arm draped over you as your breathing returns to normal. It still feels excitement pressed against you. You turn your head to look. Call me a good dog again. I don't know if I want to be in that territory. What about you? I'm fine. Don't worry about me. He gives your ear another affectionate nibble. Go to sleep, Camellia. You lie there, comfortable in his arms until you drift out of consciousness. The sun is up, which means it's safe to travel now. You feel so welcome here. You almost don't want to leave. Especially since last night was so... You feel your face get hot, so you slap your cheeks to chase the thoughts away. That was a one-time thing, a memory to be cherished and well reflected on later. You pull out some snacks from your backpack before heaping it over your shoulder. Travel safely, Camellia. This food is better off in Tindra's hand. You really want to leave the wolves ablaze with a little something as a parting gift. That's very kind of you. You're welcome to return here at any time as a fellow wolf. Yeah, it could be more like an honorary pack member or something. Never had one of those before. An honorary member of Blaze. Moved by their words, you promise to come back and visit someday. We're always in the area this time of year, so as long as you don't forget the way. Bye, Camellia. You should bring more jerky next time you come back to visit us. I want a souvenir too. It doesn't have to be food, but... Don't interrupt. I wasn't done saying goodbye. Bumper and Ember bark happily as they run away, giving you and Timber some space. Like I was saying, don't be a stranger, alright? The moment feels right, so you press your lips to Timber's, not caring who sees. Ooh, that one girl's gonna be mad. Now why the hell would you go and do that? Yeah, sarcastically, but you can barely hear him over all the barking and howling around you. You guys are sweethearts? No one told me anything about that. Ha, nice, Timber. One of the wolves turns tails and run away. You think it might have been Crystal. I'm never gonna hear the end of this. I changed my mind, Camellia. Don't come back. You're too much of a troublemaker. You punch his arm lightly, giving him a knowing smile. And now, with one last goodbye, you're on your way. It's gonna be a long walk back to your campsite. And we got ending 2, Honorary Wolf. Your visit the Glaze was a pleasant one. You'll return there someday. Okay, let's ask about Tundra. You're worried you'll forget about it if you leave it any longer, so you ask what Tundra talked to him about while you were meeting the other wolves. Backs off, nothing special. Can't tell if he's being evasive or just distracted. He sets a cabbage on the cutting board and starts chopping it into thin strips. You already mentioned she's the eldest, but does that mean she's the pack leader? You ask Timber for clarification. Yeah, she manages most things, make sure everyone's fed. His hands work fast. Once the cabbage is shredded, he pours a fair amount of vegetable oil into a pan. His helmet looks more like he's the one in charge of feeding people right now. Food's preps up to me. She just keeps better track of what we got stored up back in the sec. Timber pops him back into one of the ice houses with the oil heats over the fire. You feel bad for interrogating him while he works, but you kinda get the feeling he could do this with his eyes closed. He returns with a bag of marinating meat and a bowl of what you assume to be flour. He grins at you. I'm a pretty good cook, Camellia. You're gonna be impressed. You don't doubt it, but you weren't really finished asking questions. Or the food supply is limited, is it really okay for you to eat their meat? You didn't bring your own food after all. Guess eat good here. Don't worry, I convinced her it was fine. But that was it? She wasn't happy that Timber decided to cook for a stranger. He plucks pieces of meat out from the bag using metal chopsticks and drops them in the bowl, coating them in flour. You apologize, explaining that you feel like a bit of a burden for making him do all this. That's not it. I mean, that was only part of it. Timber sets the chunks of meat into the pan, one at a time. The sizzling sound grows louder with each one. My mom and I had sort of a disagreement. He waves the chopsticks around as he talks. Haven't been able to scavenge one lately, so she's worried about making things last for the rest of the season. Today I told her I skip meals if it comes to that, but I'm handling it. So I won't. You say with his words. After a few minutes, he flips each piece of chicken over to cook the other side. My mom's getting up there in years now. Sooner or later I'll have to provide for this pack of my own. Stresses her out, I think, trying to make sure we all don't die off when she's gone. We feel the need to apologize again. This is a little heavy for dinner conversation. It's fine. You'll feel better once you eat. It wasn't you that you're worried about, but you don't get to dwell on it for long. The food is ready. And we got a fresh pear. You nod, unsure of what other accommodation these wolves could possibly offer you. They've already been so kind. Alright, let's just head inside this time. No more with the freaky route. Oh, we can talk to Tundra. Let's do that. Instead of taking a suggestion, you decide to take this opportunity to do a little more poking around Glaze. You want to hear Tundra's side of their earlier conversation. In fact, you don't think you can rest until you do. When you look around, you catch a glimpse of her bright white hair from the window of the house next to Timbers. Has she been watching you? Now you're even more curious. You go inside to speak with her. As soon as you enter, she greets you. Camellia, did you enjoy your meal? You swallow. This kindness may just be a facade. You know she wasn't exactly happy that Timber decided to cook for you. But it's not like you asked him to. You try to sound extra grateful and offer to repay them however you can. I couldn't ask that of you. It's not as if you were trying to impose. Timber has a soft heart. You can't just bear to see anyone go hungry. Except himself, right? He mentioned before that he was willing to skip meals. Just how dire is the food situation here in Glaze? Do you come from a large city, Camellia? Sort of. You say it's more of a town than a big city. But you can't imagine the Pacific size was the reason she asked. You must have access to all sorts of things there. I'm not sure why you want to come to a place like this. It's because, honestly, you were lonely there. You could eat anything you wanted, but it would never fill up your soul. Ways in comparison, it's so lively. No one here is afraid of you. Making friends is easy. You tell Tundra your honest feelings. She gives a genuine smile in return. I understand how you feel. I can't imagine any other way of life than what we have here. But it comes at a cost. This path isn't suited for everyone. Her tone is serious but gentle, like a mother admonishing her child. How have the other wolves mentioned to you that we are scavengers? I heard it brought up a few times now, but what exactly do they mean by scavenging? Junior begins to explain it to you. We live in an extreme environment, Camellia. Many people who are unprepared for such a place end up losing their lives in this mountain. The ice is slippery and the cliffs are steep. When they fall, do we simply leave their corpses to become buried in the snow? No, we make use of them. You all don't eat each other, do you? Your stomach churns. Your entire body, it's a lot of meat. Meat is very valuable, you know. Normally we have to trade quite a bit to obtain it. If food is scarce, we make up the difference by scavenging, otherwise we would starve. Hope what Timber fed you was really chicken and not something else. Tell me, Camellia, to someone who comes from a place of abundance, this must sound obscene. Do you think it was as uncivilized as monsters? You hesitate to answer the question as a way of life as an outsider, but you feel so sick at the thought. Eating a dead body? Sure, it's meat, but it's... well... a chicken's a dead body too. In their position, would you really starve? You can't say for sure without having lived it yourself. This used to be a bountiful land. When I was young, food was plentiful. The rivers were filled with enough fish to feed 100 wolves. This was before the rabbits came. They settled in our territory and disrupted nature's careful balance. You hint the malice from their voice unsettles you, but you continue to listen closely. Many wolves have died at the hands of rabbits. It is because of them that we were forced to become like this. They prefer for all of us wolves to die and for this mountain to become theirs alone. I cannot let that happen, Camellia. It's my pride as a wolf, you must understand. Rather than pride, it's... she's doing what she can to survive, right? So that the pack doesn't starve? You feel torn. You aren't sure what to think anymore. Well, I feel for them, it has to be necessary because witches don't like them. Definitely don't like them. Cats don't like them. Humans don't like them. And it looks like other wolves are kind of afraid of like wolves that live in the mountain too. So I feel like it's necessary for them. If this is what they have to do to survive, it isn't your place to question it. You don't know the reality of what it's like to live out here. You've never gone to bed hungry. And luckily, you never had to think about this kind of thing before. You understand then. More or less, you still don't like the thought of it, but you accept that it's necessary for this pack. I'm happy to hear that. Wolves don't often get sympathy. Well, I suppose one of us too. Simber saw that in you, and now so do I. One of them. Your heart feels warm at the thought. Though you don't think you'd be able to eat scavenged meat, you're grateful to be considered a real wolf. Our continued existence on this mountain is very precarious. I apologize for initially being wary of you. Now you must be tired, Camellia. Why don't you get some rest? You nod, bidding her good night. When you exit, you're surprised to find Timber standing right outside. Hey, I was wondering where you slipped off to. Oh yeah, you hadn't bothered to say anything before you walked away. Tell him you think his mom is a nice person. Was she buttering you up in there? She can be pretty strict, you know. Impression of her is more like she's been through a lot. You're probably strict in her position too. Leaders gotta lay down the law every now and then, I guess. Come on, Camellia, let's get you settled in for the night. Timber's house looks about the same as Tendra's did, just a couple of baskets of supplies and a large blanket laid out over the icy floor. Would have been kind of funny if you had some snow furniture, a nice block for a table at the very least. And your own home is a little sparse too. Let me get your bed ready. Should have gone ahead and done that sooner. Well, we're gonna sleep apart this time. A little further away? I don't want to do that. Let's just sleep like here. It's a comfortable distance. You nod to him, pleased. Timber strips off his coat and climbs into his sleeping bag. You do the same. Come to think of it, it feels strange getting into bed without changing into pajamas. You ask Timber if he always sleeps in his clothes like this. What? These are all I've got. I guess I normally take my pants off, but seeing as I have a guest... He trails off, then pauses a moment. What about you, Camellia? Gonna take off that scarf, or are you planning on sleeping with it? Why is he asking something like that? It's cold in here. I'm saying it out of concern. You'll strangle yourself in your sleep. Says a guy with his neck all wrapped up like that. Hey, I'm injured here. It's an injury? You just assumed it was part of his look. You asked what happened. Nothing. It's mostly healed up, just... Forget it, alright? Sleep however you want. Timber turns away from you. You aren't sure what to say, so you give a small apology and do the same. Time to get some sleep. I mean, you can't really judge their way of life if they've been treated like that. The sun is up, which means it's safe to travel now. You feel so welcome here, you almost don't want to leave. You're staying would mean one more wolf they have to feed. It'd mean more scavenging, wouldn't it? You can't impose any more than you already have. All that's left is to say your goodbyes and being on your way. You pull out some snacks from your backpack before heaving it over your shoulder. Travel safely, Camellia. This food is better off in Tendra's hand. You really want to leave the wolves ablaze with a little something as a parting gift. No one should have to choose between eating corpses and starving. That's very kind of you. You're welcome to return here at any time as a fellow wolf. And you can be like a Moonry pack member. Well, you aren't sure you can accept that title, but you promise to return to visit them someday. If nothing else, then to just help them bring more food. You want to do anything you can to help them. We're always in the area this time of year, so as long as you don't forget the way. You reassure him you can never be a stranger to your fellow wolves. And now with one last goodbye, you're on your way. Gonna be a long walk back to your campsite. Oh wait, that was still ending too? Ah damn. Well, let's stick with escapism. I think that most suits us. We wanted to get far away from home. The wilderness seemed like a good place for that. There's no way you could tell him all this, but you quit your job recently after this rain a bit was causing you so much anxiety you could barely function. You can't tell him because he thinks of you as a stranger with mental health issues, which might make him uncomfortable. And if you did that, he'd change his mind about taking you to meet the other wolves. He'd have to leave you out in the cold. But then he might feel bad that he did that to you, and it'd be all your fault for making him feel like a horrible person. Oh, okay. You can't tell him any of what actually came to mind when he asked that question. So instead, you say you wanted to get away from it all and come out to a place where there's nobody else around. Huh. Well, sorry to say it. There are actually people living out here. Right, of course, that's not what you meant. Now he thinks you was an ignorant jerk. You quit your job, your savings are dwindling, and now you come out here just to be rude to a kind stranger. You're so... We kinda keep a low profile though, so can't blame you for thinking otherwise. Huh? Things get a little rowdy here sometimes in Glaze, but I'm sure they'll all welcome you. Nothing you gotta worry about. He reassured you. How nice of him. Maybe you really don't need to be worried about anything. You could just let yourself be taken care of as a guest. Your pounding heart calms down a little as your anxiety melts away. You're starting to relax. The two of you continue to walking for some time. Just when you're about to ask how much farther it is, Timber points to a small path up ahead. Alright. Let's skip ahead. Let's help him cook. We're offered to help him out. You can't let him do all this work alone. Here, chop this into thin strips. He hands you a cabbage and gestures to the cutting board. You ask him what kind of dish he's making. Carriage? Carriage? He says it with a smirk, but you have no idea what that is. You'll see, the meat's already marinating. You move your gloves and start chopping the cabbage as instructed. Even the sizes even turns out to be a struggle. Your fingers are trembling from the cold. You move slowly, careful not to accidentally cut yourself. You hope Timber will mind you're not doing a great job at this. You look back over at him. He's got a pan full of oil sitting on the cooktop, and he's holding a bag of marinated chicken. He drops the pieces of meat into what you assume is flour, flipping them with a pair of metal chopsticks. Once coated, he sets them in the oil one at a time. As they sizzle, you realize, is he making karaj? Ah, he responds to carriage. What? No, it's carriage. A little doubtful, you ask him where you got the recipe. Cookbook? Here, I'll show you. Take over, alright? He shoves the chopsticks into your hands and dashes off towards one of the houses. I'm not sure you'll even need to do anything. The meat is still cooking. Timber returns, thumbing through the pages of a mildly tattered book. See, here it is. Only thing that sucks is we don't have any mayo. In full confidence, he holds up the page of the book that clearly says Karaj. You let him know it's pronounced Karage. Wait, Karage? I was pronouncing it wrong. Karage? Not carriage. What? He flips the book back over, holding it close to his face in low light. That's how you say I've been calling it carriage this whole time. Me and you, Timber. You hand the chopsticks back to him, snickering a little. Damn, that's embarrassing. How do you know about this? It's not something you eat often, but in some places it's served even in convenience stores. Timber runs a hand through his hair in absolute despair. Thanks, now I feel like an idiot. He says that, but he's laughing along with you. The food smells really good. You joke that he could still call it carriage if he wants. Maybe he put a unique spin on it. Karaj. He's muttering to himself now, making sure he remembers the pronunciation right. Hearing him do this makes you laugh even more at the absurdity of the situation. Stop, do you want me to feed you or not? He's pointing the chopsticks at you, but you can't help laughing. Stop laughing either. Soon enough, the food is ready. Timber serves you off a plate, offering a fresh pair of chopsticks. Take a bite of the chicken, assuming it's cold enough to eat. It's so tender and delicious. This is better than anything you have from a restaurant. Well, not that you can afford anything other than fast food, but saying his cooking's better than that feels like a low bar. Chicken! And Juniper and Ember come barreling down once they realize the food is ready. Let's head inside this time. Now that your stomach's full, all you want to do is relax. You thank him for the meal and go inside. There isn't much inside Timber's house, just a couple of baskets, a large blanket. You aren't sure what to do with yourself now that you're in here. It's not like you just climb into a sleeping bag. You look around absent-mindedly. It's not long before Timber walks through the door to join you. Let me get your bed ready. Should have gone ahead and done that sooner. Should I do a little further away? Maybe. Let's do. You ask him if he can move it a little further away, even though to toss and turn in your sleep and you would rather not disturb him. Alright, don't blame me if you get cold. Timber strips off his coat and climbs into his sleeping bag. You do the same. Maybe you were more tired than you realized. You fall asleep almost as soon as you close your eyes. Will this view of scavenging as flawed? You feel like if they're okay with relying on corpses for food, doesn't that kind of... It creates an incentive to kill, doesn't it? It's controversial, I know. Whether I tell you we've never killed anyone or not, we have no reason to believe me without proof. If they're killing people, isn't it scavenging? It isn't scavenging, it's hunting. Chasing someone down with an intention to kill and eat them? That's when you realize it. You ask her to tell you if Timber was hunting you tonight. He can answer that himself. She glances behind you. Timber is standing in the doorway. You're cornered now. You gotta stop asking questions, Camellia. Can't you just forget all about this? Learning that he's planned on eating you if you hadn't been a wolf? How could you forget something like that? Does the rest of the pack know what they're doing? Does Juniper? Demand to know they think someone like Juniper would be happy to learn people were being murdered for her to be able to eat. Keep your voice down. No, this is totally messed up. How could he act like everything's normal after trying to hunt you? Was that even chicken that he fed you earlier? You feel like you're gonna be sick. Timber steps inside, still standing between you and the only exit. I already told you, I haven't been able to scavenge. Come on, you could tell by the taste it was regular chicken. You don't know what to believe. I mean, you should know what chicken tastes like now. All you know for sure is that Timber was chasing you, and that only makes sense if he was out scavenging. Timber, I know you would never intend to make anyone think you were hunting them. But what do you plan to do about this? Camellia is surely going to rush to report this to the authorities. You're not gonna do that. Come on, you wouldn't, right, Camellia? Someone absolutely needs to report this. They're murderers. It's a simple misunderstanding, but we can't afford the consequences. You were already captured once. This will give them the probable cause they need. Timber, you'll be taken away from us again. They aren't gonna let you leave here alive, are they? This isn't fair. It's because of wolves like these that dogs have a bad reputation. Well, I'd say their hand was forced. Because people just want them to die out. It's because of wolves that you've been bullied and feared your whole life. You thought it would make you stronger to call yourself a wolf, but now you want nothing to do with them. They're going to kill you as if it's their only option, as if they have no choice. I'm not gonna kill a wolf. Timber scoffs. Camellia is not a wolf, Timber. Camellia is a dog. Stop panicking, you have to defend yourself. Your hand fumbled through your pocket searching for your knife. It isn't there. You do understand what has to be done, yes? As the pack leader? Why, isn't it there? You know you put it there. Timber. He takes out one of his hands out of his pockets. And he pulls out the knife. It's unmistakably yours. He hands it to Tundra. I'm not killing a wolf. He turns his back to you. And before you can try to make a run for it, his mother expertly drives the blade into your throat. Oh god, that's terrible. Honestly, I feel bad for all of them, though. I think we got a dead end? Absolute zero, so there's one more here. Okay, let me go with that camping trip option. I've always wanted to try roughing it in the snowy mountains like a real wolf. That's why you wanted to camp out here. Ah, the dog complex in action. He nods sagely. What the hell's a dog complex? It's a sense of superiority you get from being around people who think you're less than what you are. Correct me if I'm wrong, Camellia. Who told you that you've got to prove you're a real wolf? People have mistaken you for a wolf ever since you were a pup. Other children ran from you. It was hard to make friends. Is that what he means by people thinking less of you? And in that case, wouldn't it please everyone more to aspire to be the dog that you are rather than a wolf? You're confused by what he's saying, but you aren't sure what exactly to ask to help clarify things. You should know who you are for your own sake. Okay, now you're just speaking in platitudes. You prod him to elaborate more. What's not to get? If you live in the wild, you're a wolf. If you live among the rest of society, you're a domesticated pet. You're out here in the wild, which means right now you count as a wolf. Remind Timber that he was the one that called you a dog before. That's because you ran like one. I can almost imagine a jingling little collar on ya. You lightly punch him in the arm, then laugh together. Hey, I think I found the route. Let's ask for a goodnight kiss. With the boot slightly salvaged, you mustered all your courage and asked if he would give you a kiss goodnight. Oh, so you were kidding about liking me. Well, he said he was single. He was available and you were available, then there's nothing wrong with asking for this, right? Sure, I'll give you a kiss. Where do you want it? On the lips, obviously. Can do. He leans in and does just as you requested. It's chaste and only lasts for a second or two, but it makes you happy. You're happy, but you want maybe just a little bit more? Before you can pull away, you rush in for another kiss. Camellia, you feel his grin against your lips, but you wish he'd just keep kissing you instead. His surprise is only temporary, though. Soon enough, he follows your lead. A small moan escapes as you slip in your tongue. Your tail's going wild underneath the blanket, too. You're a little impressed with yourself for being so forward. You're more used to being on the receiving end in situations like this. This might be the first time you wanted someone so badly. It's not enough. You want to be closer. Oh, why are these sleeping bags in the way? Push the zipper down to free your arms a little more. And when your hands slip up to his neck, he grabs your wrist and pulls them away. Not there. You stop yourself. You've gone too far and done something he doesn't like. You didn't realize this whole time you thought it was just an accessory. They're bandages, of course you shouldn't touch them. Concerned, you ask if it hurts. Yeah, sorta. He releases your hands and rubs the back of his neck. You apologize and ask if the wound is fresh. I don't want to talk about it. He moves away from you. Sorry, I kinda spoiled the moment. You really messed up. Why did you even ask? You could've just left it alone. The shame is so unbearable, you start apologizing again. It's fine, you could just go to sleep. You could forget everything that ever happened because you'll be gone in the morning anyway. That's probably for the best. Stop apologizing, I'm not mad at you. I just hate that I reacted that way. Now I can't even... Himo grumbles in frustration. You look up at him, a little lost in how to feel about this whole thing. Ugh, I'll just show you, okay? He gives you a serious look, then suddenly starts unwrapping his bandages. The scarring on his neck is... oh. It's a lot worse than yours. You know how you said you were collared? Well, so was I. This isn't from any normal collar. They almost look like burns. I got snatched up by some real sadists. It's mostly healed now, but the mental stuff, I don't know. You begin to cry. Hey, you alright? It's the same. You feel the exact same. The place where that collar dug into your skin, the pain there went away a long time ago, but in your thoughts, your dreams, every time you see your body in the mirror, you remember it. The reminder that, oh yeah, that happened, huh? No matter how you're doing, how far you are from the people who hurt you. Sometimes you can only see yourself as a small, defenseless puppy being dragged around the playground. You try to explain all this to him, the tears get pouring out, and you aren't being very coherent. Timber puts a hand on your head and pulls you close. Sorry. His voice is quiet and firm. Hadn't really talked to anyone about this before, so didn't realize it'd be something anyone else understand. You apologize for suddenly crying. Nah, if it hurts, you can cry. Timber isn't crying, though. He said it hurt, but he isn't crying. Come on, I'm not gonna cry in front of someone I just met, no offense. A touch of humor is welcome when you laugh with him a little through your tears. You're calming down. He decides to unwrap your scarf as he can get a good look at yours too. But it's really cold in here. You're bringing it to bed after all. You each tuck yourselves into your sleeping bags and finally call it a night. Oh, some really messed up things have happened here. It's getting disturbing. You wake up with the sunrise that morning. You usually never wake up this early. But you feel so motivated. It's something you thought about all night. You think living among cats and witches isn't something you can bear any longer. As soon as you can, you're going to meet the glade to be with Timber. Sure about this? It's kinda like leaving your life behind and all. It's not like your life was any good before. You could use a fresh start. Okay, but... besides that, you feel like no one's ever understood you the way Timber does. You have a deep bond. I don't even know you. Haven't even known you for a full day. If it's against you coming to live here, you should just say so. If you think you're not cut out to be a wolf. That's not what I'm saying. I just don't want you to decide something like this on a whim. If you're coming back, make sure you're not gonna regret it. And there's some messed up shit that goes out here. Joining us isn't gonna solve all your problems for nothing. It's not that you think it will. And you know you're being imposing by suddenly deciding this, but you give Timber a hug. There's nothing more to say about it, so you'll be taking your leave now. He pats your shoulders and nods. See you, Camellia. Actually, that name is, well, I think it's about time you got rid of it. Oh yeah? New name for a new era? That's exactly right. You think really hard about what you like Timber to call you. How about Twigs? Is that stupid? You have to tell me if you think it's stupid. Where'd it come from? Did you just look around the ground and name yourself after the first thing you saw? No, if I did that, I would have said Snow. Snow's a cute name. Well, I like Twigs. A Tweety Twigs then. No, but you haven't told me whether you think it's stupid. Whatever name you pick, I'm not gonna call it stupid. Keep me thinking of though, if you are, you have to tell me, Timber. I don't want to say it. But we're Scar Buddies. I can't care what my Scar Buddy thinks. Okay, don't call us that. Now there's a name I can tell you is stupid. The bickering continues until Timber finally relents and tells you that Twigs is a fine name. He's not sure would you believe him, but you've gotten used to it by now. You're sticking with it. Satisfied, you finally wave goodbye and set off to your campsite. As soon as you get home, you'll be making arrangements to move to Glaze. We had to be sure to bring plenty of food to share with everyone. As you walk along the icy path, you ponder what Timber's favorite snacks might be. Yes, finally, a new wolf has joined the pack. I feel like it's a better ending, because Twigs can be like, well, kind of like an olive branch, right? Help get them more food. Captor's key. Oh, that's concerning. Content warnings? Yeah? Release brutality, torture, blood, release. Reference to starvation, genocide. Okay. Now we got the wolf epilogue. When you step off the Insta-rail and onto the platform, your oversized bags roll easily on the tile. Now to get down these stairs. You lift the plastic sled from the top of your luggage, untying the small bow you made to keep it in place. It's long and unwieldy, but its size will be good to carry your bags all the way to the Glaze. You just wish you had some extra muscle to help you out. You aren't the strongest, and one of these things is booms the brim with bags of rice. But you're determined. You go down the steps, then place the sled in the stove. Next comes the hard part. You look back up at one of the two giant suitcases, but what surprises you is that a witch is standing next to them, looking down at you. Hi, sorry. When I saw you with all that luggage, I wondered if you might need some help? Oh, thank goodness, yes, please. The kind train attendant used her magic to levitate each of your bags onto the sled, stacking them neatly. I had no idea how this was going to go. I really appreciate your help. No problem. Do you have a long way to travel? Yes, but it'd be a lot easier to pull everything on the sled. I've got it from here. The witch waves goodbye and wishes you well on your journey. How lucky. Strangers usually aren't this nice to you. Well, they're different. Then again, Timber was a stranger once, wasn't he? He was always nice to you, too. You naively wonder if it's something about the mountain air that makes everyone a little kinder. That's what you chose to believe about my sorbet. No. No. The people there are not really nice. Takes you all day to make it through the snowfields. You almost worry that you'll get lost along the way. Thankfully, you have a pretty good sense of direction. The only problem is the darkness has you feeling a little paranoid. Feel as if someone's watching you from the shadows. Now someone just wrapped their arms around you out of nowhere. Sorry, did I scare you? Thank goodness, it's a nice kind of stranger. What? I don't see you for a week and now I'm a stranger again? A nice kind, I said. It's a compliment. He gives you a little squeeze before letting you go. Once he does, you take a moment to adjust your scarf. I came a long way with all of this. You gesture to the large bags piled up on your sled, which was a great idea, by the way, although it was still a huge effort dragging it all the way out here. What's all in there? This one's my clothes and snacks, this one's practically all rice. Just rice? That whole thing? I was trying to think of foods that would last a long time, and this is the best option I could come up with. Sorry, I guess I should have brought a bear priority. Everyone's gonna get sick of eating rice, aren't they? No, this is great. We won't need to worry about food for a long time. Good, he seems happy. You're trying really hard to make sure you won't be a burden once you join his pack. Oh, well, you have joined them. You're joining them. You're almost there, even. I tried to guess your favorite snacks. I'll show you once we get to Glaze. He can pick something out. You glance back up at Timber. He's giving you such a small, soft, and genuine smile that you worry your heart might stop right then and there. It's true that you barely know this wolf, but you already feel like you would die for him. That isn't healthy, is it? Bringing your life to move out here suddenly is beyond risky. Even your dad kept asking if you were sure about all this. If it means you can see that smile. But that reminds me, I also brought... You slip your backpack off and kneel down in the snow to dig through one of his pockets. And then you present it to him. Your many, many packages of condoms. Okay, yeah, you go. He nearly doubles over in laughter. What? I hope I'm not being too presumptuous. Was this the real reason you decided to move out here? Come on, you could say it. Your face flushes, but you don't back down. I just wanted to come prepared. We didn't get to do much before, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make fun of you. It's just such a ridiculous amount. I didn't want to run out. Okay, horror dog. I didn't realize you were planning on having sex every night. Not every night, geez. Maybe I should have kept these a secret until later. Hastily shove everything back into your bag and zip up the pocket. Once you're back on your feet, Timber gives your head a firm pat. Glad to have you around, Twigs. Feel like your smile can almost match his warmth and sincerity. Almost. He takes a rope to help you drag your sled and its ridiculous amount of luggage into Glaze. To your new home. Wonders how this is gonna end up. You brought Timber to a usual private place. His body is tense as you lie side by side. Okay, go ahead. Press your lips to the side of his neck just beneath his jawline. Hear his spine? Yeah. Kiss again a little lower, then wait for his response. Still fine. A little further, then... Stop. You pull back and look up at him. I don't think it's gonna work. I can't relax at all. That's why we're practicing. He tries to roll onto his back, but you wrap your arm around his side and pull him back towards you. Hey, you said I shouldn't let you run away. It's not gonna work, though. You want to help him. You know he wants to be helped because he asked specifically, and you think he might be pretty well equipped for it. Can you try to describe how it feels? Timber grumbles, squinting his eyes and looking off towards the space over your head. It's like it's fine, but then there's sort of lack of sensation, like getting settled and shit. You'll hold up your paw, and here's where you can see it. Can I touch it? He looks away again. Sure. You place 2 fingers directly on your scar, pressing lightly. Can you feel all that at all? Well, yeah, but more like the skin around it. So noticing the part where you can't feel it, that's unsettling? Exactly. He sighs in annoyance. Doesn't feel good anymore because of that. Then it gets me thinking shit. Nothing turns me off faster than seeing his face in my head, so that's why I can't relax. Because I'm expecting it to pop up, I guess. Grab his chest with both paws to distract him from these kind of thoughts. So it's just a bad association. You can retrain yourself to get rid of that. You just want me to be your dog. I'm serious. When you try really, really hard not to think of something, it makes it all you can think about, right? Timber grumbles, but he can't say anything back. He doesn't want to admit it. I'm gonna make it so you don't even get a chance to worry about that stuff. You kiss him on the cheek, but he's still being stubbornly quiet. How about, instead of thinking about the past, think about your cute partner, who you love, is trying their best to make you feel good. Wow, sounds simple. Just think of something different. Yeah, okay. He's complaining with the usual grin on his face. Only think about me, got it? Mm-hmm. You kiss him to interrupt any further complaints. Back to work then. Trail more kisses along the side of his face, steadily back down to where you reached before. Didn't stop you this time, but his body is still tense. He's trying his best. You slide your hand up to his neck as you kiss him, stopping below the scar. Is this okay? Either do it or don't. Stop asking me if every little thing is okay. How can I check it in with you? I have to check in with you, Timber. Oh, say something, just... Suddenly presses your hand firmly over the scar. His eyes are shut tight at first, but after a second he relaxes. Just don't choke me, but... This pressure is kinda nice. Progress. You pull yourself in closer, practically latching on with your mouth. You try nibbling at him softly. Am I your chew toy? He is now. You respond with another soft bite. Timber gives a small huff, the kind he always does when he's both entertained by and fed up with you. But he also adjusts his body to give your mouth better access. You guess this means he doesn't mind being your chew toy then? That's really cute. A small sigh escapes your lips as you bite down again, a little harder now that you move further down, away from his scar. Your hand moves the opposite way, back to the back of his neck for better leverage. You want him closer to you, however close he is, it's never enough. When you press yourself into him, you realize this is totally working. You say it's not gonna work, yet here he is, just as, hard as usual. You lean yourself on top of him to free your other hand and go for his belt. You're a liar, Timber. You said this wasn't gonna work. He glances down at you, then looks away just as quickly. Not directly this time. He stammers out instructions, which you happily follow. With his belt undone, you do that with the boxers. I'm glad you like being my chew toy so much. Your words come between heavy breaths. Your mouth never strays too far from his neck. Tonight, you're on a mission. You're going to make him feel as good as possible, touching all the most vulnerable spots. As much as he'll allow, at least. You're used to him holding back and wonder how long it'll be until he gets frustrated by. Okay, directly. There it is. You slip your fingers past through the opening. Kiss him long and hard as you do so. Give him exactly what he likes, and he rewards you by a oh, okay. That's an interesting way to describe it. I guess it gives you a visual. When he comes down, you lie quietly next to him, tracing his scar with one finger. Then you think of him. That's the first thing you have to say, not thank you. Thank you, Twigs, my amazing partner. You whine at him. Don't say it sarcastically. Thanks for making me... Yeah, you're really good at it. Stop, you make it sound like that's all I'm good at. Not what I said. He kisses you sweetly. I love you. He always knows just what to say. Okay, well, let's put my toys away. Okay, you took it back out of his pants and fumbled the zipper. Don't manhandle me, I'm sensitive. Shh, toys don't talk back. Now you're making it sound like that is all I'm good for. I love you, Timber. Say in a sing-song voice, which he mimics right back at you. Don't know if I believe you, Twigs. You continue the usual flirting and kissing until late into the night. Two of you have always ended up like this, and you hope it stays that way forever. Okay, we got the captor. I'm not gonna like this one. Oh. So the captor seems like a human? You swear back at him. He's fallen into your trap. Now that he's this close, your magical miss, witch. You fire off 3 cups, one for his wrists, and a collar tight around his neck. A chain bursts out of the back, snapping itself around the nearest tree. The wolf barely has time to react before the wrist cuffs snap into each other behind his back. Too bad, you won't be anyone tonight, wolf. The hell is this? Is there any way to greet a guy? You get to your feet, dusting the snow off your clothes. The wolf leans towards you, testing the limit of his restraints. Seems surprised, but otherwise unfazed. You pull out your badge and hold it in front of his face. Agent Osmosis, undercut a cough. I'm investigating a series of missing person cases here on Mount Sorbet. Okay, I'm gonna butcher his name. Mr. O. I'm gonna explain why you got me chained up. Well, because, you see, these people who went missing, we received a few tips they may have been murdered. Believed the perpetrator to be a wolf or a group of wolves, and here you are, a wolf chasing me down. Chasing you? I was just out for a run, officer. Wolf stands there calmly as he lies to your face. Simple misunderstanding. I don't appreciate being profiled here, but I know you're just doing your job and all. Who was it that went missing? Maybe I could keep an eye out for you. You walk up to him, testing to see if he'll bear his fangs. He doesn't. He merely looks up at you, the same stiff smile on his face. You can call it profiling, but some of the wolves that live out here have a bit of a criminal history. It's all in the records. Sorry, whose records? The town of Frosting. That's where I'll be taking you tonight. You snap your fingers and the chain around the tree disappears while a new one springs forth, right into your hand. Buddy, I'm telling you, you're mistaken. You walk forward with the chain held taut, but the wolf doesn't move. You hold it there, glaring back at him. You'll like Frosting. It's full of tasty rabbits. I know where Frosting is. You yank hard on the chain, and he falls chin first to the ground. And you better get moving, unless you want me to drag you there the whole way there. He grits his teeth with a bit of a snarl. You can't talk his way out of this one. The magic's pretty strong. I bet you catch a lot of bad guys using this spell. Unamused, you start dragging him forward until he staggers to his feet. Alright, I'm walking. You chuckle to yourself. It's so hilarious when criminals put on such a big show of being cooperative like this. The brick wall of frosting stands out. See, that's not fair. The rabbits, they have like a whole wall around their community, which is just, ugh. Stands out against the rest of the barren wilderness. Finally, you're back to civilization. You push open the metal gate and toss to tug your prisoner through it. Coast clear. Try not to menace any of the residents. Oh, I would never. This stone has only a hint of scathing, but you notice it because you have a keen eye for criminal psychology. Right now, he's thinking he'll worm his way out of this situation. He thinks you've got nothing on him. But swarmy assholes like this aren't too hard to break. 3 days is going to be more than enough. Actually, you give it 1. Maybe you should stick around town. If the turnaround's going to be that quick, you heard they got a nice hot springs at least. You lead the wolf down the short path to your contact's home, a large brick mansion matching the walls surrounding it. You knock twice, the rabbit with pitch black ears opens the door. Senpai, I caught one for you. He takes a quick glance at the criminal behind you, then smiles. Come in. You enter the brick house with brick walls, brick floors, and this brick of a man. Everything's bricked with this guy. When you look into it, you find out his dad made a fortune doing construction magic. You follow Senpai through the corridor, then descend down a narrow stairway. Wolf takes in the surroundings. You yank the chain again to keep his attention focused. My father is away on business. Your timing couldn't be better. I've been wandering out there every night for the past month. Damn near thought you were making this shit up. I wouldn't have wasted my money on you if I hadn't been confident in my theory. At the end of the stairway is a heavy metal door. And this guy's family is really fine with their house being built like a prison. Whatever. It's at least convenient that he's got a dungeon to hold his prisoner. No chance of the wolf getting out of here and wreaking havoc on the town. The door opens up to what looks like a home gym. Workout equipment is placed throughout the room with a chest supply machine in the center. It's an odd one though. Instead of your typical weight plates, there's a shit ton of bricks behind it. Chain him there. You grab one of the wolf's arms roughly, then pull the cups apart with a quick snap. Surprisingly, he complies with your movements and takes his seat right where he's supposed to. Does he think he'll be able to get off on good behavior? Sorry guy, this ain't the kind of place for that. Before you snap the cups to the machine though, Senpai cuts in. Take his coat. I don't want him hiding anything up his sleeves. You do so, then toss him on the floor. The wolf glares at you for the offense. Once you finish binding the cups to the arms of the machine, you attach the chain to the vertical bar behind him. Uh-oh. This wolf isn't going anywhere. Can't even move his arms thanks to those brick weights. Senpai contemplates his prisoner. Scrawnier than expected. You're basically starving these wolves out, aren't you? It's not that surprising. You're certain this is the one? I know that being hunted feels like he's definitely your guy. Wolf flicks his tail, staring between the two of you in silence. Keeping quiet, Wolf. Haven't you anything to say for yourself? I got the right to remain silent, don't I? This isn't the police station. I actually prefer that you talk. I don't know, I was told not to menace any of the residents here. Figure if I open my mouth, they count as menacing. Senpai takes a step closer. You're no threat to me. Why have you got me chained up like this? Seems unnecessary. Osmosis? Yeah. You pull out the previously discussed device to hand over to Senpai. Hold down the buttons on the side to detach the cups. Big red one's the shocker. Wonderful, I'll test it out now. Where's your being shock? Mad surges through the collar, released by the button on the charm. Cost a pretty penny to craft a custom device like this, but that's what Senpai's paying you for. The wolf husks and paints, catching his breath. His tail twitches violently to express his agitation. That freaking hurts. It really is incredible what a touch of the rat magic can do. Just don't go overboard with that thing. It only has so much charge in it. Noted. Hey, there's gotta be some laws against this kind of shit. You're torturing an innocent civilian. You give the criminal a condescending smirk. This ain't an official arrest. We're clearly operating off the books here, dipshit. Which means we get to do whatever we want. Your fault because chasing down a cop. I wasn't chasing you. I set it out for a run, didn't I? Your guilt or innocence isn't a factor. You're useful to us either way. Oh, I will. Yes, over the years, dozens of rabbits have disappeared over this very mountain. We believe these to be unsolved murders perpetrated by the wolves of Blaze with the name, if I recall correctly. It's a pack of wolves that will have to be forcibly removed around the time frosting was established. Are you a member? Forcibly removed? I lived through that shit, you asshole. Don't try to freaking soften what you rabbits did to us back then. You want a murder to solve. There's plenty. What I'm looking for is a scapegoat. If you confess to even one of them in many cases, we'll be able to protect this town and many more just like it from predators like you. The wolf begins to cackle. Oh, so you don't care at all that you chained up an innocent guy. You just need a wolf to take the fall for some made-up crimes. In other words, you don't have a shred of evidence for any murders. You just captured me because you felt like you could get me to do what you want. You're a little sick of watching these guys mouth off to each other, so you just cut in to wrap up the conversation. You got 3 days to get a confession out of him, Senpai. Any longer and I can't make that gap of time disappear. 3 days? Come on, I got better shit to do than this. The sooner you confess, the sooner you'll be released. Yeah, and then you get your excuse to kill me and my whole freaking family. I ain't got nothing to say to you. Then enjoy the next 3 days of torture, Wolf. You brought this upon yourself. Stepping your hands back into your pockets, you head for the stairs. The rabbit can take you from here. Make sure to step on the wolf's coat on your way out. It's just so... Fortunately for you, the workday isn't over yet. Senbei meets you at the door. Osmosis, I appreciate you for making these arrangements for me. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. If we can pin all these missing person cases on the wolf, the news is going to spread far and wide. You'll be able to push through whatever kind of legislation you want. No one's going to be able to defend a predator murder spree. And by the end of this all, you'll be the famous cop who brought a loathsome serial killer to justice. I was right to come to you for this. You're an ambitious man. That's right. I'll have been worth running around in the snow for the past month as long as there's a big arrest to make by the end of it. Just smirk back at the rabbit and leave him off. Tell me if he gives you any actionable evidence, otherwise I'll be back in 3 days. Senbei retreats inside and you decide to head back to the station. Who will you continue as? Osmosis? Man, I can't even say their name. Those 3 days pass in no time. You've been preoccupied with a few other cases, always juggling more leads. This one sticks out in your mind. You're surprised you haven't heard back from Senbei yet. Not too shocking if the Nepo baby was all talk, though. It's either that or the wolf was tougher to break than expected. You get a clear picture of things once you make it back to Senbei's basement. There's been an incident. Great, that's never freaking good. Mind elaborating? The collar shattered. It what? If it's shattered, that means it's overloaded. If it's overloaded, the wolf's gotta be in rough shape. You gotta see through yourself. Rough was an understatement. His entire throat is soaked in blood, and his flesh is flayed around where the collar previously sat. If the wound was any deeper, it could have been severed his jugular vein. Doesn't seem to be the case though, considering he's still breathing. How long do you leave it on? I must have forgotten to switch it off. The wolf's head is limp as you tilt it to inspect his neck. I'll need you to cast another. Hell no, he needs some goddamn medical attention. You really underestimated this guy's hate boner for wolves. There's some twisted shit he's gotten up to down here. Oh no, the wound looks a lot worse than it actually is. Despite the amount of blood, it seems to have clotted up nicely. He'll live, but it's gonna leave a scar. A scar caused by your magic. Could they link this shit to you? Maybe. But that's not something you should let happen. When you take your hands off him, his head droops back down. You kneel at eye level and snap your fingers in front of his face. Hey, can you speak? The wolf looks you in your eye but says nothing. He hasn't said a word since last night. Is that when you did this to him? He pushed me. Hell of a push. Listen, I'm gonna clean this up. It's gonna hurt like a bitch, but it's not for your own good, understand? Rifle through your pockets looking for a small bottle of healing tonic. As soon as you pull it out, somebody has something to say about it. You're healing him? Just some first aid. He can't walk out of here looking like this, can he? I'm not through with him yet. You can't help but think this guy sounds like a child about to have his toy taken away. Too freaking bad? Your time's up, Senbei. I'm guessing you couldn't get your proof. If you wouldn't confess to anything before, why do you think you'll talk now? I'll pay you double for your second round. Now there's an interesting proposition. I'll think about it. Now can you shut up for a second? He smiles like a typical smile. It's freaking annoying. He turned back to the wolf, popping the cap off the vial of tonic. He pulled a rag from the same pocket, then doused it with liquid. Like I said, it's gonna sting. He raises himself, and you quickly work to disinfect the wound and wipe the blood off his skin. Soon enough, he looks halfway presentable, breathing still shallow, but at least he won't get an infection. Plus, it should take care of any identifiable marks from your spell. This way, you're in the clear. Senbei's asking for another 3 days. The money's more than you expected from this job. Even having to pay that temporal witch again, you still have a lot left over. It's tempting, but can you really trust the rabbit not to go overboard a second time? What have you gotten yourself tangled in with? Senbei, I'm looking to solve murders, not become implicated in one. If I end up killing this guy, my ass is on the line, so take better care of him, will ya? I understand. 3 more days then? I appreciate it. Hey. The wolf's voice comes out as a raspy growl. That's not what you said. There's desperation in the wolf's eyes. He repeats himself. That's not what you freaking said. See, he can still talk. So he can. Can you not freaking count? You said 3 more days. You can't just add 3 more. Fortunately for you, I just did. You can't let him do this to me. Free me. Hey, the shot collar is busted and he's not getting a new one. Count your blessings. Wolf howls in frustration, which quickly devolves into coughing, sobbing fit. He's still got this much fight in him. He doesn't seem so broken yet. The rabbit can keep his toy. You head back upstairs with Senbei to receive your payout. The hell? 3 more days. Another 72 hours to get any information out of the wolf. And of course he failed again. Well, at least this time he didn't have to play medic for a murder suspect. Wonder if he really has ever killed anyone. You know you're being hunted that night, but it's not like he tried to maul you. Could have if you hadn't chained him up, but the question remains. Wouldn't he rather save his own skin by taking a plea bargain than spend 6 whole days in that rabbit's dungeon? Looking at it through that angle, it starts to read more like the zealous martyrdom of the falsely accused. Doesn't matter now. You don't want anything more to do with this case. You walk the wolf out of the brick mansion into the snow. Put your damn hood up. You can't have the happy little townsfolk seeing your messed up scar. When the coast is clear, you head back to the gate to exit the town. The wolf follows behind you, tugged ahead by the chain in your hand. A week ago, you walked through this gate with a feisty predator. Now you're taking a hollow shell back. Hasn't said a word since you showed up for his release, just quietly obeying whatever you ask of him. It's honestly creepy. You like it better when criminals act the part and fight back. As you venture into the wilderness of frosting, it begins to snow. All the better to cover your tracks. Once you sever this chain, it'll be like nothing happened. You were never here and the wolf was never held captive and tortured. Who would believe a story like that anyway, that a rabbit will do something so heinous to a wolf? Once you reach the area you originally picked him up, you turn back to the wolf with a sneer on your face. If I were you, I'd tell the rest of the wolves in your pack to knock it off with his murder shit. Stop eating rabbits. You raise a hand to release his bonds, but hey, the wolf speaks. His tone isn't accusatory or indignant, but worn down. What's a guy to do when his choices are to be exterminated by starvation or by force? Take a moment to consider your answer. Gonna lie down and take it like a man? You sever the chain, then you raise a pointed finger aimed at his legs. A small magic bullet bursts out and explodes against his thigh. He recoils soundlessly. Don't follow me, and stay away from frosting, will ya? You leave the tattered wolf from the cold, snowy night. You won't be seeing him again. The hell? Capture and release the suspected murderer. Well, they are guilty of that, but like, they're starving them on purpose just because they want to. Torture key? Okay, we could read an epilogue for this. Oh, right, that's the torture key. He hasn't come home. It's been 6 days since he left to go scavenging and he hasn't come home. The others have been searching for him. They're worried there must have been some sort of accident, that he's fallen and hurt himself. But you know better. They can't guess at the type of risks he's been taking, and you won't tell them. It's all I can do to quell their fears and prevent the panic. Your own search tells you that your son was taken unwillingly by some witch. When you follow the usual route, you found 2 things, signs of a scuffle and traces of magic on one of the trees. You erased the evidence so that the others wouldn't follow the scent. This is a burden for their leader alone to carry. The place he was taken is not somewhere wolves can reach. You understand that more than anyone. If the rabbits were to see your face, to see wolves prowling around the edges of their town, it would only incite more violence. He knows not to get too close, but they came for him anyway. They came from him, they have taken him, and there is nothing you could do to retrieve him. So you stand watching the edge of blaze, as you usually do, waiting for his silhouette to emerge from the tree line. And tonight he does. You rush to meet him. Mom, made it home. He's hurt. Of course he's hurt, considering where he has taken. You're lucky he came back alive. He needs help immediately. Take him inside as quickly as you can, telling the rest of the pack to give you some space. Tell me what happened. You wrap your son in the blanket. You clean the wound you're preparing to solve. Well, I followed someone, turned out to be a witch cop. He was investigating the missing persons stuff. Did he have you do any paperwork? Nah, off the books, he said. You squint. Interesting. I'm going to rub this in. Tell me if it hurts. His shoulders tense as you apply the salve, but he offers no complaint. It's fine, just tingles. What happened next? They kept me in the basement, Black Rabbit's house. Half left. It was supposed to be 3 days, but then the rabbit bought 3 more. Bribing the police, they can't solve it officially, so they're screwing the law to try to gain the evidence they need. What did they do to you there? I mean, you're looking at it. Did you answer any of their questions? No. Why did they release you? 'Cause I don't know, they can't hide it if they kept me any longer. It's supposed to be 3 days. Yes, you said as much. Why did they extend it? 'Cause the guy's freaking obsessed with me, I don't know. He's getting invasive. Now might not be the best time to press the issue. Put your hands on his shoulders to soothe him. You did well, Timber. His tension doesn't ease, his tail remains still. You know he probably told him something. Hey, Mom? I think we shouldn't scavenge for a while. Take your hands off him. If they find even a tiny shred of proof, he said he wants to exterminate us. I think it's too dangerous to keep doing this. They're really determined. So maybe we can figure out something else? What do you think? Stare at him for a moment. Do you want this pack to starve? No. His voice is small and weak. You might think it's cruel. He might come to despise you for this, but you know the reality of your situation. Each winter, you're barely getting by, even while scavenging. Each winter, you are restrict everyone's diet, even while scavenging. Each winter, the path grows weaker as you're slowly starved to death. You've already seen so many wolves fall to illness brought by malnutrition. Eating less is not the answer. Eating less means you all die, so there's no choice but to scavenge. He understands this. He's just desperate for a way out where there is none. Timber, do you see the scar on my face? He doesn't look at you. This is the price we have to pay for standing up for our way of life. And now you have one too. That's the only thing that's changed. You've always been in danger. I know it may feel more pressing now, but it's always been the same. Do you understand? His trembling stops. Yeah. Good boy. Now let's get you wrapped up. My god, what the heck? It's like there's no winning for them whatsoever. It's horrible. It's going to be horrible, but let's see. You make your way down back the stairs and into the basement. Soundproof, cold, and escapable. It may have been improvised, but there is truly no better place to keep a wolf. He opened the heavy steel door. 3 days, huh? Guess that means we're gonna be spending a lot of quality time together, Rabbit. You look comfortable. Well, you got me by the balls here. I figured I may as well relax into it. The sooner you realize I got anything to hide, the sooner I'll be out of here. You're wasting your freaking time. His condescension irritates you. He doesn't seem to recognize the position he's in. By the way, does your daddy know what's going on in his basement? Are you gonna get in trouble when he comes back? My father keeps his nose out of my business. You said you're in it to protect the town, right? You're sure it's me those rabbits need protection from? Sure, we probably hate each other about the same amount, but you'll never catch me throwing you in a dungeon about it. You're letting him steer the conversation. You need to find a way to take control. Listen, Wolf. About that, can you stop calling me Wolf? My name is Timber. You can't keep the hint of annoyance from seeping through your voice. Is that what you prefer? Yeah, I think I would. The way you and that cop were saying it sounds like a slur. Then listen, Timber. No, on second thought, keep my name out of your mouth. Sounds even worse. You want to shock him. You want to press this button over and over until he submits to you. And as soon as you raise the device, the wolf interrupts again. Oh, careful. If you press that every time I piss you off, you'll break it. Did the osmosis ruin you? You press it anyway. Ugh. Are you finished? Good, and let's begin. Interrogate, search, or inspect. Interrogate? I'd like you to answer some questions, and I'd like you to send me home. We can't all get what we want. I know you're probably not used to hearing that, though, living with your parents in a fancy house like this. You shouldn't presume to know anything about my background. By now, it sounds like you decided all sorts of things about mine. I've done my research. Sure you have. I'll bet I'm the first wolf you bother talking to. He'll continue to lead the conversation if you engage with every little remark. You need to be more aggressive with him. Are you acting alone? Don't wolves typically hunt in packs? We're not hunters. How do you get your food? Forage and trade. Do you use all the meat? What do you do with the hides? Do you use our bones as toothpicks? The corpses can't have entirely disappeared, so where are they? You got an active imagination. Why don't you use that creativity on something less destructive? Where are they, Timber? You can't hide from your crimes forever. Don't remember committing any. You deck him in the face. Speak, dog. His expression is a mix of shock and indignation. Had he realized the collar would not have been your only method of inflicting pain, it may have not come as a surprise. He underestimates you. You think you should put him back in his place. And then he laughs. That's a damn strong punch. Maybe you should take up boxing. I'm not interested in that sport. I just wanted to see what it felt like to punch a wolf. How was it? Did it make you feel big and strong? You won't be dignifying that with a response. Search? You pick his cup off the floor and then dig through the pockets. Inside, you find a small silver case. When you open it, it appears to be a regular lighter. Interesting. What is? You don't carry any weapons. Why would I? Do you rend your victims with tooth and claw? Sounds messy. Think I'd get caught if I was doing that. So you admit to having victims. I'm fucking humoring you. What do you think you go with, smartass? Say you encounter a wolf in the wild and you decide they gotta die. Gonna bludgeon them with your bare fist? Kick their skull in? Maybe you carry a brick around in your pocket for such an occasion. You got plenty of those. He's wasting your time. You slip the lighter back into his coat pocket and lay it on the bench on the side. This line of questioning is a dead end. You'll need to try a different angle. Inspect. You step closer to the wolf to get a good look at him. There are some massive dark circles under his eyes. They're practically apparent as he stares up at you. Is it a lack of sleep? If he does, it's hunting at night. It's entirely possible he stays up until dawn. They can't be sleeping because of hunger, you know? What draws your attention next is his build. It's very lean. He looks more appropriately threatening in the oversized coat, but that seems to be merely a facade. There's a hint of muscle, though. He decided to lift his shirt out of curiosity. Your frame is rather pathetic. I expect you to have more protein in your diet. Yeah, well, my diet is pretty freaking irregular, so... If you were to pump your stomach, I wonder if you find any rabbit meat inside. I'll save you the trouble and let you know I haven't eaten anything today. His stomach is flat, almost concave, you believe him. The wolf squirms away from you as much as he can once you drop his shirt. You're not gonna take off my pants off next, are you? Not interested. You got a funny way of showing it. You check the time, it's gotten rather late. You'll leave him for the night and resume your interrogation in the morning. Hey, where are you going? You're boring me. I decided to retire for the evening. You're leaving me like this? Did you expect me to have a bed prepared for you? My arms are falling asleep. This is cruel and unusual. Cruel and unusual, Tap the button, he jolts in response. Ow, does this really entertain you that much? Freaking sadist. I don't need to hear that from a murderer. Apologize to your victims' families for consuming their loved ones. You're delusional. I'm not apologizing for shit I didn't do. You roll your eyes and exit the room without another word. At least turn on the light. The steel door closes behind you. Wake up just before dawn, the usual schedule. It's time for your morning routine. Luckily, this coincides with checking on your prisoner. You enter the basement quietly. The wolf seems to be asleep, as you expected. But you're certain what you're about to do will rouse him. You turn on the machine. The hell? Ah, you're awake. Yeah, because of that thing you're on. You don't know the names of the equipment? Sure, I got names of them. Torch device 1, torch device 2, torch device 3. Your freaking shoulders are sore thanks to the torch device. F you. He leans his head from side to side to stretch his neck. You never been to the gym before? No, I get all my exercise outdoors like a normal person. Hey, speaking of outdoors, you want to enchain me so I can get out of here? You continue your run. Come on, don't ignore me. You've yet to confess to anything. Okay, you got me. I'm a killer and I do it again. Too bad there's no proof. Guess you gotta let me go. You step off the treadmill. If you want to be released, then take this more seriously. Trust me, I'm serious about getting out of here. I'm not gonna last 2 more days of this. I'll free you right now if you give me the location of a single one of your victims. Alright, come closer. He tends to mock you again, but you have no choice but to reproach. Closer, you want to hear, don't you? You'd like nothing more than to end his miserable game and get on with it. He whispers aggressively, "Bite me." This time you press and hold the switch longer than you have before. It seems I didn't make enough use of this last night. You need further training. Whatever, it was worth it. You've given him another since he seems to enjoy it so much. Ow, alright. I'll return after breakfast. Consider cooperating if you'd rather this be painless. Again, question? When you re-enter the room, the wolf is sitting up straight, nearly docile. This is progress. You're pleased to see it. Are you ready to cooperate? All I gotta do is answer whatever dumbass questions you have, right? I can do that. You raise the device. He flinches. I won't have to press this as long as you keep your attitude in check. You stand before him with folded arms and a serious expression. You, wolf, are a dangerous predator whose modus operandi is to victimize any rabbit who happens to wander too deep into the mountains. Modus what? The method of your crime. It's in your nature to prey on rabbits after all. Yeah, I still gotta deny that part. Your big dick theories have no basis in reality. Tell me what you do with the remains. Where do you hide them? Proof of even a single body will be enough, no matter how small. Sorry to break it to you, pal, but I've got no clue where to find any bodies. Try calling the cops for something like that. Sounds serious. You hold up the switch, contemplating it. The wolf glances at it, then back at you. Burying them would be a challenge, yes, considering the temperature. Ground's too hard to bury much of anything. Cave then. You drop the remains in the pit once you're finished with them. You want to go spelunking? Be my guest. Just don't think you're gonna find a pile of bones you're expecting. Tilt your head, rotating the device in your hand. They're spread out then? Never disposed of in the same place twice? Sounds like a pain to keep track of. What will be the convenient option? Dunno, toss them in the lake? Is that where they're least likely to be discovered? Not like anyone's going swimming up here. You thought this through. Hey, you asked, I'm just helping you brainstorm. Honestly, the guy who's lived here his whole life doesn't sound all that odd for a few hikers to go missing. 27. There have been 27 no disappearances within the past 15 years? He looks a bit young. I'll round up to simplify the math for you. That's 2 bodies a year. I could do the math, asshole. The rate of these hiking accidents in other mountainous regions is far lower. This is how Mount Sorbet gets its reputation as a dangerous place. The wilderness can be tamed. Just look at this very town. This is tame. You got a guy locked up in a dungeon here. I have a suspected murderer imprisoned. It's a sign of a healthy society, not letting criminals run rapid. You pocket the switch and stand to leave. The wolf doesn't seem ready to answer to anything just yet, so it's best for him to let them stew for now. But as you turn your back, he speaks up again. Hey, I've got a question for you. Maybe he's willing to give you something after all. How many wolves do you think have died since your rabbit showed up? Or do you not keep track of those? According to my elders, there used to be 100 or more. Nowadays, my guess is maybe there's 30 of us? Gosh. Is that why you kill innocent rabbits for revenge? I've never killed anyone. No matter how many times you say it, my answer's not gonna change. Still resisting. He weaves his lies with such a determined look in his eyes, it's almost unbearable. But he's wearing down. It's gradual, but his barks are losing their bite. They aren't getting anywhere with this, so you decide to take a break for now. Observe. When it comes to torture, pacing is key. Constant torment will not get you closer to the desired result. You need to keep him second-guessing what you'll do to him next. You need to learn his quirks and observe his weak reactions closely. That way you can pinpoint his weaknesses and strike him where it hurts most. And so for the next hour or two, you sit in a chair in front of him reading a book. Wolf nods at one of the wrist cuffs. You aren't sure what he expects is going to happen. Hey, can I have some water? These things taste nasty. Turn the page and continue reading. How can you stand living in a house like this? The magic smell is burning my nostrils. Doesn't bother me. You got like a witch parent or something? You turn another page. Yeah, stupid question. No full rabbit family's got a house like this. Are you calling me a half-breed? What? That's a whole new sentence. You don't bother glancing up from your book, but you are taking in the words you're reading either. Is that your sad backstory, that the other kids picked on you for having mixed parents? After that, you're pissed off, so you have to find an acceptable target for your rage. Is that it? I never had the issue with bullying. Wolf continues to stare at you. You don't look up at him. Ugh, this is really torture. I'm bored out of my mind. Is that why you're trying to evaluate my character? Well, what else is there to do here? The wolf mutters, shifting in his seat. You know, the more I think about it, you glance up at him. This is definitely a sex thing. You want to screw a wolf, but you can't, so you gotta do this whole song and dance. Timber tilts his head as far as the chains allow, trying to get a read on your expression. Expression really screws a guy up, huh? Imagine what you'd be like if you just dropped the pretense and did what you wanted. You finally close the book. Are you arguing for me to do that with you? I'm arguing for you to be normal. Challenge impossible. Do you play with your food before taking their lives? What did I just say about being normal? Now I gotta think of a stronger word than impossible. You want an answer? I try not to encourage your dark fantasies. Let's see, hopeless. Is there a word for it? Never in a million years? It's gotta be sentient. You think for a moment. Inconceivable. Yeah, that's a good one. A challenge so impossible, you can't even conceive of it. That's you trying to be normal. Press the switch to deliver another jolt of magic to the captive wolf. How what? Do you really need to keep doing that? You're boring me. The longer you draw this out, the more painful it'll be for you. You're the one drawing it out. Damn. Doesn't seem like you reveal any weaknesses this way. Try another method. Leave. Hey, I gotta take a piss. You hear him but no response. Unless you want me to mess up your fancy gym equipment, you better unchain me. He raises his voice again, annoyed. You know what must be done. You prepared for this after all. You stride over to the wolf, then begin to undo his restraints. Let's call it a day. Enough with all this. I'm ready to forgive and forget. And lock his wrists one at a time and snap them together at the front. Cuffing me like this is not really not necessary. He ignores attempts at smooth talking as you release his collar from the bar. Then you stand to retrieve something from the metal shelving on the wall. You place the bucket on the floor in front of him. Seriously? You fold your arms while he stares at you in disbelief. Go ahead, relieve yourself. Wolf turns his body away from you with a huff, fumbling with his belt and zipper. This is what you're into, locking guys up and making them whip it out for you? You pull the device from your pocket and press the switch. It delivers another shock to the wolf's collar. Ow, damn it. Okay, I might deserve that one. He resumes his business as you keep the switch raised in warning. As he finishes, you press it lightly, just for fun. Ow, what the hell is wrong with you? My finger slipped. Luckily I don't take a shit on your floor. I would kill you. Yeah, I freaking wish. It's time for dinner. You've yet to feed your prisoner, so he should be quite desperate for a meal. Are you hungry? Is that a trick question? I have a meal ready for you, as a reward for enduring our second day together. Your ass is not gonna reward me. You're plotting some shit, I just know it. Vulgar as ever. But you did indeed bring his dinner. Present a plate of chicken, straight from the package. It's freaking raw, at least cook it, you asshole. You smirked, taking back the plate. My apologies, I'm not familiar with the wolf's usual diet. No one eats raw chicken. You'll get sick. Stop freaking around. Stop screwing around. What about raw rabbit? Will grins at you, laughing a little. Okay, I see, I get it now. You don't know how to cook, do you? You're avoiding it because you're embarrassed. That isn't the reason. He's trying to provoke you. You won't entertain the thought. Here's what you gotta do. It's simple, so listen up. Paprika, salt, pepper, onion, garlic powder, dry parsley if you got any. Mix them all together. You got a whisk, don't you? Now he's giving you a cooking lesson. You've lost control of the conversation once again. Coat it in oil, season it, then let it sit for a while. Meat's gonna absorb the flavor. Question: should I kill the animal in my own hands? Does that affect the taste? Look, I'm just trying to teach you to cook what's on that plate you're holding. You're not gonna let it go to waste, are ya? His modifications are getting to you. You know perfectly well how to cook meat. Wait, rabbits and meat? Rabbits eat meat? I thought they were vegetarians. Arguing about it won't prove anything, though. You just have to show him. Calm your temper and exit the room. After half an hour, you return with a beautifully plated dinner. Roasted chicken breast with a side of carrots. Steam rises from the plate, along with the delicious aroma. Something this wolf would never deserve. The kind of meal he would never have access to again. Wolf glances over at it and up to you. You gonna undo these restraints, or am I about to be spoon-fed? Try at least one wrist. Choose right or left. Right. You snap his left cup off the bar and offer him a fork. Damn, tricked me there. He rolls his eyes and awkwardly prods at the chicken with the fork you handed him. I'm basically ambidextrous anyway, not like this is a problem or nothing. Fork clacks intermediately against the plate as he attempts to separate off a piece of chicken. You're struggling. I said basically. My arms are weak from being starved and tortured and shit. There. See? Freaking got it. He lifts a plate bite of chicken to his mouth and gives you a pointed glare before putting it in. When he does, his expression twists into a condescending grin. It's under-seasoned. Oh god. Not under-seasoned. Chicken. You're completely taken aback, but you don't let it show. You don't show any weakness. Rookie mistake. Guess a kid would give me more advice if you let me into your kitchen. This wolf is mocking you. He's in chains and yet he's mocking you. Clearly you're still being too soft on him. You'll show him his place. You take the plate away just as he struggles to break off another piece of meat. It'd be so underwhelming I could possibly force you to eat it. I promise you tomorrow's dinner will be an improvement. Hey, I say it's under seasoned. I didn't say I wouldn't eat it. He protests, upset at the thought of being deprived of meat. Worthless. My guesses are only the best. I'll just toss the rest of this. Don't freaking waste it. Why not? Frosting is a town of abundance. Slide the food into the garbage can in the corner of the room. And as soon as you do, the wolf throws his fork hard at the wall next to you. You're really pissing me off. Something died to be put on that plate, you piece of shit. Quickly nab the device from your pocket and give the switch a firm press. Walter runs to the wolf collar and he grabs at it helplessly with his free hand. I'll excuse you about an outburst for tonight, but I won't be giving you another fork next time. Shackle his wrist cuffed back in place and take your leave. Wolf remains seated there, panting, fuming with rage. We'll have him fully trained tomorrow. So he clearly thinks he can tame people. You decide to skip your morning workout today. Instead, you prepare yourself a plate of fried eggs and sausage, then relax in the parlor with your mother. Wait, Mother? Would you like a salad? Really, it's no trouble at all. No, Mother, I am not distressed. It's merely that things aren't going as smoothly as I hoped. He listened impatiently as she expressed her concerns. Agent Osmosis will be coming to retrieve him tomorrow. That is, assuming I'm able to get what I want out of him. I know that having a wolf in the house has not been ideal, but I can assure you there is no chance of his escape. Mother. She exits the parlor, you finish your breakfast, and take some time to think while you wash your dishes. Your mother feels that your time is better spent on healthier activities, something other than confronting the wolves directly. She fears you will be hurt by pursuing this obsession. On the contrary, improving the world we live in can hardly be called an obsession, it's an admirable goal. It's unfortunate that she's unable to see past her fear of wolves to understand the greater objective. But her resistance has renewed your determination. Your prisoner awaits. The wolf is asleep, head tilted off to the side with his bangs falling gently over his eyes. His breathing is shallow and silent. You study his face. Without that detestable smirk and rebellious attitude, his is indefinitely more intolerable. Imagine he may even use his good looks of his to lure in unsuspecting victims. You briefly exit the room, then return with a bucket of cold water. You toss its contents roughly over the wolf's head. He jolts awake, legs kicking wildly in surprise. He curls into a startled ball, posed as if ready to drop his assailant. Once your eyes meet, he pauses a moment before relaxing slightly. He then shakes his head vigorously, sending water droplets spraying everywhere. Come on, tell me that's just not the piss bucket. I rinsed it. You toss the empty metal bucket aside with a clang. The wolf flinches at the sound. Asshole. Place the folding chair in front of the wolf and take a seat. Man, I still can't pronounce his name. Oh, we'll be returning here tomorrow morning. Nothing to say? I thought you'd be thrilled. No, I'm just gonna make you more desperate to get something out of me. I'm sick of you anyway. Even if I was a murderer, I wouldn't want to kill you. You wouldn't? Really? Yeah, 'cause you're freaking insane. I don't want anything to do with you after this. You tap your foot. Are you still upset about last night? Am I? What, now you're worried if I still like you? This isn't what I asked. You're holding me captive. I hate you more than I ever hated anyone in my whole life. Oh no, are you still upset about last night? I'm upset about everything you've freaking done to me. It's unfreaking forgettable. It seemed to upset him off. Am I still upset? I'm still gonna be pissed about this for the rest of my goddamn life. And I'm not happy about that either. You think I want this to haunt me? You think I want to remember any of this shit? Screw off, human rights violation ass. You decide to leave him for now. Oh god, not the water torture. Revoke? It's not that you particularly enjoy resorting to violence. Sometimes violence is exactly what is necessary to achieve the desired result. Physically, between you and the wolf, it's no contest. Even if he wasn't chained and peaked in condition, you would overpower him. Wait. Are you sure? You train your body for such occasions, although this is the first time you've truly gotten to put that training to use. It's a perfect opportunity, really, turning this despicable criminal into your punching bag. So you strike him in the stomach again. Time out. Wait for him to catch his breath. What the hell? Breaking my ribs is gonna do for you. Where were you prepared to be punched? Nowhere. Why are you doing this? You run out of questions already? You haven't given me the answers I'm looking for. So you think you can punch them out of me? Possibly. Grit your teeth, wolf. You swing for his face, but he dodges and bites down. Yes, harder. Sink your teeth in, wolf. I want you to break the skin. I want you to leave a scar so I can use that as proof of how dangerous you really are. Are we serious here? You press into him, but as you do, his jaw loosens and he wriggles away. You're deranged. Get your arm out of my face. The mark fades within the hour. Either his jaw is weaker than you expected, or he has incredible restraint. Perhaps both. This method yields nothing, once again. Clearly he wants to prove himself, but if he wasn't chained, you wouldn't win. You've been interrogating the wolf for days now, and you will continue to do so until he offers your confession. You're sorely missing information on his background. Asking about Glaives could be a better point of attack. How large is your pack? There you go again, wolves flirting with me. Don't dodge the question. How many other wolves are there to feed? 3. That's a far cry from the 30 you estimated previously. There's other packs. Do you hunt to feed them as well? Or do they each have their own designated killer? I don't know. Whatever. His head lost to the side. Seems exhausted. How are you feeling? I'm freaking miserable. You're relentless. Wait, why'd you ask that? You don't care? I was curious. Well, curiosity killed the rabbit, I guess. Or rather, it's wolves who tend to do that. This is unproductive. You go upstairs briefly, then return with a glass of cold water. Drink. What is it? Water. You're dehydrated. It's affecting your cognitive function. Okay, and do one cuff then. No, you'll throw the glass at me. I'm not gonna. Fine. Don't wanna argue this shit. He relents and does as he's told. Once he's finished, you set the glass to the side and return to your seat. I'm telling you, this is kink shit. I have no such ulterior motives. Yeah, right. Wouldn't have expected with something. If only there was such a thing as truth serum. I think you not wanting to do that with me makes this worse. At least that I can wrap my head around. If I were to do that with you, would it lead to a confession? No, don't get any ideas. He's lively again. The water did the trick. Now we have silence. You aren't making any progress. Time is running out, but he's resisted everything you've thrown at him thus far. You sit with him again in silence, knowing that if nothing else, your mere presence would put him on edge. That's enough for now. Until he suddenly speaks. I think I got you all figured out someday. You overcompensate because you can't do magic. That's your deal. Excuse me? I'm right, aren't I? Having a high-class witch parent, but no power of your own. That's gotta screw with your head. You realized as a kid that your only power was gonna be your family's money, so you started reading books. What was it you were reading yesterday? Political theory? It seemed like it from the title. Surprised you're literate. Oh, you would be, but I'm not. That's intellectual shit. It starts to turn impractical the more abstract you get. Makes you think everyone else is stupid for not knowing what the hell you're talking about. That's where the muscle comes in. For everyone you can't manipulate with smarts or cash, that's what punches the face. Now you think you're so strong you can do whatever you want. He's looking down on you. Tell me I'm right. Now you're doing all this because you're that insecure. He's always looking down on you. What, can't they give a response? You can always just shock me again, that'll shut me up. Go ahead, use that thing the witch cop gave you. Just go so you can get to using magic yourself. Press the button, but not because he told you to. It's because he frustrates you to no end. It's because he won't learn his place no matter how many times you force him down. It's simply because you detest him and there isn't anything more to it. You let it go. Look at that, it really did shut you up. The third day passed without any progress. You took your frustrations out on his body, beating him, shocking him. Nothing you did could force him to submit to you. With all other methods exhausted, you ask him a different kind of question. You mentioned there being around the time the township of Frosting was first established. His ears switched. He wasn't expecting this approach. What was that like for you? The wolf's perspective. You really want to know? Sounds disinterested, perhaps not believing the sincerity of your question. But you ask because it's not something you could read in an archive. It was never recorded. Of course not. What do you want to hear? The order of events? My feelings personally? Anything that seems important to share, I'm curious. Alright, here comes fact number 1. I watched my dad get beat to death by rabbits when I was 10 years old. You blinked unfazed. Fact number 2, he was negotiating with you people because he believed you'd be able to talk things out. Ah, so Timber is the son of their leader. Fact number 3, your rabbits killed him and everyone else because you don't know how to share. You fixated on the issue, you can use this. Timber, I'm going to offer you a deal. I'm not taking any deal from a rabbit. Were you even listening? I can get justice for your father, would that please you? Liar. You're not gonna do shit for me? Actually, the head of the so-called Big Bad Wolf is mounted in the warren. The building's owner is a taxidermist. It's a beautiful piece of work. I've seen it many times. I could have that returned to you. What? They taxidermied his body? What the hell is wrong with these people? You're able to lay him to rest properly. That's your idea of justice? There's intensity in his voice, but he isn't lashing out at you as usual. All you have to do is provide evidence that the missing rabbits were murdered. We can print the crime in any old wolf. Doesn't have to be you as long as the killings end. Well, tell me your thoughts. You want to know what I think? I think you really are insane. He's not going to take this? Essentially told him you can get away with murder. Some of the other wolves will take the fall for his past crimes, and he could escape to whatever he dreamed. His father's remains would even be returned to him. Is that not enough? What could possibly be enough? Refusing this deal? Is that not the insane choice in this situation? A cold sweat runs down your forehead. You're going to run out of time. He's not going to get away with everything. After you finally capture the wolf most likely of being the culprit, he's going to slip through your fingers like this. You know what, Senbei? Here's a thought for you to chew on. Since you seem to care so much about justice, I'll let you know. There's just nothing here. It's a waste of time. It isn't. You know it isn't. Because as much as you wish there was a long string of murders for you to solve here, there just aren't. If that were the case, then why? Accidents happen on these mountains all the time. Hypothetically, if a rabbit was to wander around the woods at night, and that rabbit spotted by a wolf, they'd run, wouldn't they? You narrow your eyes at him, wouldn't they? He repeats himself in a voice deep growl, a weak attempt at intimidation. They might. Running on icy ground at night, you slip and fall if you're not careful. The cliffs are steep, and rabbits don't just always land on their feet. You scoff. So that's your method? No, it's a hypothetical situation. You ever heard of those? Do I need to explain that to you too? Grip on the device tightens, thumb held over the button where you can see it. I stopped short of full confession. You must be aching to boost all of the rabbits you bled to death. The wolf smirks but says nothing. Pressed down hard, he grits his teeth to endure the shock but otherwise remains still. He won't give you the satisfaction. Answer me, wolf. He leans his head back, looking down on you. That's the difference between you and me, Sunbae. You think murder is something to brag about. You think killing in a moment is the reward. In the burst of violence, you click the folding chair across the room. The wolf barely flinches. Confess to your crimes. You're livid now. He's driving you to the edge. Well, I'm never going to tell you what I want to hear. You have to kill me for... Slamming your thumb on the switch, but this time you don't let go. Wolf howls in agony as you compose yourself and stride calmly out of the room. His screams echo up the stairs where you open the heavy steel door and then quiet when it shuts, as if he wasn't even there. You keep the button held down until you fall asleep that night. So he's having a temper tantrum because he wasn't getting his way. O arrives the next morning. How long do you leave it on? I must have forgotten to switch it off. You can't tell me you let your emotion get the better of you. This wolf is a criminal. You wanted to make him suffer. Without the collar, though, you lose a convenient tool for controlling him. I'll need you to cast another. Hell no, he's gonna need some goddamn medical attention. O seems to be in a panic. You feel his reaction is unwarranted. It's not as if this particular wolf would die so easily. Hey, can you speak? Timber is silent as expected. He hasn't said a word since last night. Is that when you did this to him? He pushed me. Hell of a push. We were so close. But he said last night that was his confession, pushing the boundaries of plausible deniability as far as they go. There's nothing plausible about this is absolute. Timber is a murderer. He chases rabbits to their death, and the wolves feast on their corpse. This is what he was doing when he pursued O 3 days prior. He must have given chase to anyone who enters his territory. The rate of missing rabbits has been more or less consistent. He's been doing this for years. If we don't find proof, he will not be stopped. He is a figure that will inspire terror in the hearts of rabbits all over the world. When this is widely known, he will become a symbol of fear. He's perfect. He's exactly what you're looking for when you set out to capture a wolf. He's not back to reality once you realize what O was doing. You healing him? Just some first aid. Can't walk out of here looking like this, can he? No, he can't. I'm not through with him yet. Too freaking bad? Your time's up? Reason you can't get your proof. If you wouldn't confess to anything before, why do you think you talk now? Oh, that's right. And you'll need to be bribed. I'll pay you double for a second round. O holds your gaze for a moment. I'll think about it. Now can you shut up for a second? It's so easy to control. It's almost comical. Surely a man with no principles. O attends to the wolf's wounds, wiping up the majority of the blood. For sure it'll be another issue. I suppose it falls on you to wash it. That is, if O is still concerned with appearances by the end of this. You had hoped to gain any evidence you needed within a day or two, but thanks to this development, you're certain it won't be much longer. The little spirit is broken. You're not even sure he's listening right now. O finishes up and approaches you with a scowl. Senpai, I'm looking to solve murders, not become implicated in one. If you end up killing this guy, my ass is on the line, so you better take care of him, will ya? I understand. 3 more days then? I appreciate it. As expected, he easily accepted your bribe. Now you can think about how to... Hey. So he was paying attention. That's not what you said. The look of despair on his face is exhilarating. That's not what you freaking said. See, he can still talk. So he can. Can you not count? You said 3 days. You can't just add 3 more. Fortunately for you, I just did. Wonderful. His spirit isn't so broken after all. The game continues. We can't let him do this. Free me. Hey, the shock collar's busted. He's not getting a new one. Count your blessings. O waves dismissively as he heads out the door. Wolf howls and coughs and cries out in pain and sobs. You wish you could stay and watch, but you have a bribe to pay. Follow O out and make sure you let him know how much you appreciate the extension. Of course, he's not doing this when his father's here because he'll be mad. He's like, why are you antagonizing the wolves? Blah, 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 blah. It would look bad on him. Now that he's explained his methods, there are so many things to ask. When you enter the basement, you get right into it. How do you retrieve the corpses? Carrying them back up the mountain must be quite difficult. They will be well preserved in such low temperatures. Do you leave them there for days at a time? I just wouldn't say anything if I were him. Are you acting alone, or is the rest of your pack in on it? Is it a well-kept secret in the glades, or are there wolf children you're feeding these corpses to? Hearing response, you continue down your mental list of questions. Are you prepared to meet yourself? Is that why you're going to cook? Is there a particular reason you're most active during the winter? Is it the food scarcity? Are there really so many wolves to feed that you can't do without victimizing rabbits? What do you do for the rest of the year? What foods does your pack normally subsist on? And must you really resort to murder? When was your first? How old were you? The first time you took someone's life? How old are you now? And why not leave Mount Sabri altogether if the resources to sustain your pack are insufficient? Why go through all this trouble? The silence frustrates you. You step out of the room for a cup of tea. It seems he hasn't moved an inch. Usually when you enter the room, you find him stretching his limbs, kicking his feet about, or otherwise curled up in some strange position. He's lifeless, nor dormant. He's acting this way on purpose. He thinks he can make you feel pity, but he's wrong. What pity would you have for a murderer? No one in their right mind would pity a predator who's taking so many innocent lives. He wants to be really so badly, then. Timber, his ears switch. What would it take for you to give me proof? You approach and kneel before him. You do understand that you'll be freed as soon as I have a single shred of concrete evidence to work with, yes? He looks away. This wolf. You lay your hands on him and force him to look at you. He recoils at your touch. You feel his vein pulsing just beneath the skin. He's afraid of you. As he should be. But still, he won't say a word. Even as you hold him here like this. There's still plenty of time. You release your grip and step out of the room once more. You sit a comfortable distance from the wolf in your usual seat, except he does not make his usual remarks as you enter. You do not hear his usual complaints. You can prepare with your usual questions, but when you saw him in his pathetic state, you knew you wouldn't be getting anything from him this time either, so instead begin talking about yourself. During our time together, I've heard many theories from you on why I'm the way I am. You're trying to discern it before, the reason I decided to target wolves. I'll tell you the reason. I simply like for all of you to be exterminated. There isn't any deeper meaning behind it. The world will be improved with few predators running about. That improvement in itself is my goal. He says nothing. Even to that, he has nothing to say. I paid quite a bit of money to keep you here. The least you could do is respond. Still no reaction. How very boring. You leave him for the day. Seems you pushed the wolf too far. He's going to continue being unresponsive to you unless you do something to shock him out of it. You release his bonds. Can you stand? He stares at the floor. When you pull him up by the arm, you're surprised by how light he is. Ah, that's right, you've been neglecting to feed him. He sits on his feet without your support, but his gaze is still fixed on the floor. You lead him to the door to the shower room, then give him a light shove. He stumbles towards the doorway. Keep your clothes in that basket. Why? The wolf's voice comes as a hoarse whisper. I'm going to wash them for you. Timber looks around the room, seemingly unable to process your instructions. You do know how to shower, yes? Go on. Why are you doing this? Because your smell disgusts me. Roast yourself. You lean against the wall, looking away from him. Once his clothes are in the basket, you take it and exit the room. You don't notice it because you're preoccupied with the laundry, but Rook crowds out from the place where you left him. There's a time in my life when I get to use the shower, and it's like this. Droplets fall from his eyes. He has to ruin this for me too. The water hits the sobbing wolf, indifferent to his suffering. You hear none of it thanks to the thick walls of your home and the sound of running water. And even if you were to overhear it, you wouldn't comprehend it. Because it would be silly for a dangerous predator to cry over something as simple as getting it to take a shower. Because it doesn't fit your narrative. But because you're not there, he is free to express these emotions and regain a shred of resolve. You stand by the door after returning the wolf's clothing. You're at a loss of how to proceed. The wolf hasn't responded to your questions or preoccupations. He won't respond to further violence. Will this stalemate hold until Rover returns? Is that exactly what he's counting on? As much as Timber's attitude deeply annoys you, it's confusing trying to face him without it. A tennis match where the opponent has left the court. Any point scored offers no sense of victory. It isn't any fun at all. Timber emerges from the shower room. Doesn't even so much as looks at you before returning to his seat. Even when you stand expectantly, he gives you nothing. How long do you intend to hold this silence? Screw you. Throat hurts. It's an improvement. Shackle his wrist to the machine and leave the room. You have no other option, really. Something easy on the throat. You heat up a can of chicken noodle soup. Since it isn't your cooking, you can't complain about the taste. You even release both wrists from the restraints so he can eat however he likes. You lock the door behind you anyway, though you aren't sure it was necessary. He hasn't attempted to escape a single time since he's gotten here. Perhaps he's all too full aware of how foolish that effort would be. Soup sits on the bench in front of him, untouched, is still cooling. You aren't going to talk, are you? He's still ignoring you. Is there someone in particular you mean to protect? You can negotiate a deal in which you are not only a wolf to come out of this with immunity. You know. You lean forward in your seat. I've heard from other people, you're supposed to feel a certain way when you're hungry. That's how you know when to eat, like your body's supposed to tell you. Takes a spoonful of soup and blows softly. Steam continues to rise from the bowl. Hunger cues? Yeah, sounds right. I don't get those. He takes a bite, then returns the spoon to the bowl, lightly stirring its contents. Were you hoping for my sympathy? Dumbass question. He takes it from him for a while, but he finishes the bowl down to the last drop. When you take the dishes upstairs, you drop them in the trash. Ugh, just... He's going to get away with it. Perhaps there isn't even any proof he could provide you. He singles out individual rabbits, there are no witnesses, the pack consumes the remains. Does he grind the bones to dust and trickle them into the snow? What about their clothes, their personal effects, stole? 27 confirmed disappearances, the death toll could be higher. You aren't willing to concede that any of these deaths were accidents. It could weaken your case. There was just one straightforward, clear-cut victim, someone he couldn't deny that he had no choice but to admit to. The problem vexes you, but you have no more time for questions tonight. Your father has returned from his business trip. Senbei, my boy, have you been well this past week? Well, indeed, father. Staying out of trouble, I hope. Yes, of course. Your mother tells me you've been in a mood the past couple of days. Perhaps getting out of the house for some fresh air and sunshine would do you well? Yeah, if his dad finds out, he'll be mad. You can go on a family outing tomorrow. Well, just us men. Your mother has her agoraphobia. I have plans tomorrow. Ah, is that so? Perhaps another day then. Please do get out of the house when you can. You hadn't waste your youth on... What was it you've been preoccupied with lately? Local history and politics? Certainly hobbies for much older men than yourself. Ah, Senbei, as your father, I wish for nothing more than your continued success and happiness. Please do remember to go out into the world and have some fun every now and again. Yes, father. Your mother seems to have stressed to him that you have not left the house this week. This is the end, then. No matter how much you might desire to do so, you cannot hold Timber here indefinitely. When no comes this time, you'll have no choice but to relinquish your prisoner. When that happens, this will be a waste of time. You mustn't panic, there's still one more day. If you run out of strategies, all your attempts at instigation have gone ignored. You toss and turn in your sleep that night. When you wake, you do not feel rested. Is your throat feeling any better? No. I was hoping you can answer some of my questions today. Just did. About the murders. He won't look at you. He's responding, but he won't engage. If he doesn't engage, you can't get any more information out of him. Why did you tell me what you did? You seemed to be thrilled to get to say it. I remember the look on your face. You knew it would get a rise out of me, didn't you? You knew I would punish you, so why say all of it? Don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you do, Timber. And I don't have an answer for you. Your hands tremble with anger. Your grip of your knees tightly to stabilize them. If you had been able to sleep properly, you might have better control over your emotions. But he handed you a near confession, and now he's going to disappear back into the wilderness without consequences. Thinking about that makes you so... Begin to pace about the room. Does my desperation entertain you? You must be enjoying driving me mad like this. You get off on it, don't you? You enjoy holding this power over me. You love being the perfect villain, the one who got away. Admit it. Let this be the one thing you admit today. Admit that you're Senbei. You pause. Why the hell would you think I had any power over you? Like I ever had any goddamn choice. Look at that. The perfect villain has made himself the perfect victim. Sitting there looking so small, miserable, wretched. Doesn't he understand that his actions are the reason he's in the position to begin with? Does he truly believe he has no choice in this matter? If you were to approach him now, if you were to touch him, you would certainly strangle him to his dying breath. So instead you go outside. The fresh air and sunshine does nothing to improve your mood. Then again, your father has always been rather clueless about what is necessary for your happiness. And you had to give up. That's right. You placed the meal you had made on the bench in front of him, along with a tall glass of water. Oh, will be returning soon. Noel stares blankly ahead with deadened eyes, but you don't care with that he's refusing to acknowledge that. Eat. Can't have you looking this emancipated when you're released. Obediently, he takes a potato slice. Decide to leave him to his meal. Hey. You stopped and turned back to look at him. The seasoning. You lower your lid, twitches, involuntarily at the word. It's better than last time. He glares up at you a moment before resuming his meal. I'm pleased to know it is to your liking. A false smile falls as soon as you turn your head. Can't help but slam the door behind you. Got a rise out of him. Captor Route then failed to obtain proof of Timber's crime. All he did was get mutilated by him. I mean, Timber is traumatized. Ugh, that was awful. Okay, check ending. OG Daily Plus. What? Read the blog. It's been quiet in Glaze. Everyone was so relieved when Timber came back, but the somber mood has kind of stuck around ever since then. He's been staying in bed a whole lot. He won't really talk to anyone either. I think only Tundra knows what's actually happened to him, and all she says is to not worry about it. That's why you've been giving him space, but you miss your friend. You ended up walking by Timber's house again, so it's time you poke your head in. You wonder if you get him to come out today. Timber? What? He's awake, definitely cranky, but at least he's awake. Amber made a snowboard, he's doing tricks for everyone. Wanna come see? Not right now. A little less cranky, he seems really tired. You sure? Yeah. Hey, tell him not to hurt himself. Okay, see ya. Timber is pissing you off as always. You don't know why he came back injured, and he's been being a baby about it. He's been in bed for 2 weeks. Enough is enough, you have to say something. Are you gonna stay there for the rest of your life or what? Leave me alone. No, you're being pathetic. How long do you plan to sit there licking your wounds? I'm not. Couldn't even do that if I wanted to. It's an expression, stupid. He continues lying there like an idiot. He thinks he can just ignore you now? You hate seeing him like this. You have to say something to snap him out of it. If you won't get up, should I come to bed with you? What? I thought you were through with me. Well, if it wakes you up, I do it. I'm not in the mood. Really? That's funny. Did your dick get injured too? Oh, you'd be really sorry for saying that if it had. Let's have a look then, huh? Go ahead and prove it. Seriously, Crystal, I'm not gonna do that with you. Fine, your loss. Oh, so they're exes? Yep, thanks for worrying about me. You always argue and then he's nice, and then you argue and then he's nice. Seems like you had a bit of a reaction from him anyway. Maybe he'll go back to normal soon. With a small huff, you finally turn and walk out the door. For the past few weeks, it's been your job to cook for everyone. You are the best at it, but you're good with your hands. That's why everyone voted for you. You're trying, but they still complain that your cooking wasn't as good as Timber's. You feel like you let everyone down. That's why it's such a relief that he came to help you prepare lunch today. You gotta cut the potatoes more evenly. That's why some of them were coming out undercooked. But they're all long. How am I supposed to make it come out even? Chop off the tip, then set it upright like this. You watch as Timber cuts the potato down the center, then into sticks, then cube. That's way easier way of how I was doing it. How were you doing it? Grab a potato and cut it into chunky discs, the opposite way from what Timber showed you. No wonder, were you really cutting these one by one like that? Yeah, it takes forever. How do you do yours so fast? For starters, you're holding the knife all wrong. Let me show you. It's good to see him laughing again. If all the cooking would have been up to you from now on, this pack would be in trouble. What's next? Onions? When you look over, he's already started on them. You can go ahead and heat up the skillet. Am I helping you or are you helping me? Equal shares, don't worry about it. Give him a nod and follow instructions. He's the leader after all. You okay, boss? Strong onions, that's all. Maybe I'll go lie back down. Barely started, don't run off now. Not like you can do this without me. It's just a skillet. I think the rest of the pack's gonna have something to say about that. In the end, you convinced him to stay and cook with you. And for the first time in a few weeks, lunch was really, really delicious. Ugh. It shouldn't be CW. Black Rabbit Route. Let's see. Wait, what? With this person? Unable to sleep, you head down to the basement. Your prisoner is waiting for you there. He appears to be fast asleep. The way he's leaning, his face is tilted ever so slightly up towards you. You look down at him in contemplation. He has insisted that the torture thus far has been a kink. Shit, you disagree. You're well aware of your kink, or at least you assume it has only been the one. So you copulate while in beast form, okay? This isn't something you're interested in doing with this wolf, or any wolf for that matter, so you disagree with his assessment. Was no sexual element to your torture. If you broaden your definition of desirable sex to include the act between humanoid forms, then perhaps, just perhaps, that is what has been keeping you awake. He had been insisting upon this after all, unable to see from his perspective. Your mind continued to twist the argument until it fell into a shape you could understand. Here he is with his head tilted up towards you, expecting something. What the hell is wrong with this guy? And you, with insatiable curiosity, you've been unable to rest on. You confirm these thoughts. Yeah, we're done with this one. And now we have this mysterious black rabbit. Oh, it's you. Exactly the man I hoped. He came out himself. Timber freezes as soon as he hears your voice. You've been coming out here night after night waiting to be hunted by him, and tonight it's finally happened. Before you can get to your feet, he's taken off in full sprint. Not even a hello? It's been so long. You call out after him, but he doesn't respond. That's fine. You're used to getting the silent treatment from him. Once he hears what you have to say, you're sure you'll answer. We'll just have to catch him first. Will your pursuit take you? The trees? Follow Timber into a heavily wooded area. He thinks he can hide himself amidst the trees, but he's wrong. As a prey animal, you have a keen eye for spotting distant movements. With each tree he dashes behind to try to put a distance between you, you step ever closer in his direction. Aren't you curious what I've been up to this past year? I haven't stopped thinking about you, Timber. You speak loudly, initiating yet another one-sided conversation. Every little detail of our time together, I pored over it all, in case I've overlooked any important clues. As it turns out, I've had. Your voice gives him a clear idea of your position, pressuring him forward. You walk slowly, giving him room to breathe. You want him to take in your words as carefully as you take in his. That lighter you were carrying, I didn't think much of it at the time, but the more I consider it, the more it stood out to me. Where would the wolves get a hard paws on something like that? It was either traded for or stolen. The lighter, did it belong to a rabbit? Did it? I don't think so. The tree sways lightly, sprinkling bits of snow to the ground as he pushes off it to scramble behind the next one. I can imagine you bargaining away with little you have on modern conveniences like that, when you're in such a desperate need for food. Of course, it's entirely possible that the lighter was only a lost item, something he picked up from a forgetful hiker's former campsite. But it gave me an idea to speak with one of the witches you regularly trade with, just to confirm. Shall remember, shall we? Thank you for meeting with me on such short notice. Oh no, it's no problem, Senpai, right? I'm plump. Shake his hand and each take a seat at the table. Your coffee has already gotten cold. It's a pleasure to meet you, Plum. Shall I order you a cup of tea? That's okay, I can actually stay for long. I made plans to visit a new client in Nyapeta. When you asked around the trade guild in search of a witch who regularly does business with wolves, this was the name you were given. An unassuming man who's been working as a merchant 5 or 6 years ago. Seems his clientele is made up of predators all over the world. So, what was it what you wanted to ask me about? I'd like you to tell me about the wolves you've been trading with, on Mount Subway. He blinks once before answering. Sure, what do you want to know? Are you aware of the long history of disappearing rabbits on that mountain? Disappearing rabbits? I know people go missing sometimes, but considering the environment, it isn't as extreme as you might think. I'm actually a resident there. I've been looking into it and have reason to believe these rabbits are not victims of unfortunate accidents, but victims of predation. So are you like a detective? Concerned citizen, I'm seeking justice for the families of those who have lost their loved ones. I do know if the wolves have ever traded you anything you thought was strange to them. To have, the sort of objects you have reasonably believed to be stolen. Luigi's demeanor shifts. Are you saying I'm trading stolen goods? That's a kind of a serious accusation. I'm not accusing you of anything. You're simply unaware, swindled, you could say. Nothing they've traded me over the years have been stolen. Can you say that with 100% certainty? Yes, I can. He's of course sympathetic to the wolves that he's doing business with. You expected as much. He takes out a pink notebook. I can show you my ledger. I keep detailed records of the past 5 years and my dealings with the glaze. He places it in front of you on the table and you pick it up, lightly thumbling through it. Wolves have sensitive noses. They're very good at sneaking out magical flora. A type that would take a witch unfamiliar with the area twice as long to track down. Such plants have various applications in medicine, potion making, and alchemy. Those are the sort of things I trade them food for. I was thinking we call these wild plants stolen goods. That's why I'm confident our dealings are entirely above board. You review the contents of his notebook. He seems to be telling the truth, although you're unfamiliar with many of the items' names listed. Would you mind if I borrow this to confirm it for myself? I mind that very much. I need to hold on to my ledger in order to do my job. Could I trouble you for a copy then? Please take it up with the guild if you have suspicions about the legitimacy of my trade. They'd be happy to investigate it for you. He gathers his things and moves to leave. I can pay. No thanks. I don't involve myself in shady dealings. Thanks for understanding. The witch walks away before you can say anything else. Another dead end. No, this was valid for conversation. Even without access to these records, his reaction told you everything you need to know. Well... Your steps hasten. You can't mask the fervor in your voice. You want to know what I believe? After meeting that man, I'm sure that your trade partners are all in it. A better way to dispose of evidence by trading it all away. So he's really dumb. You're closing in on him. He's tantalizingly close. Your only mistake was holding onto that lighter as one of your trophies. Did you know there are spells that can trace the history of objects? It's possible we can identify its original owner. What other sorts of things have you kept over the years, How many of those things were connected to all your victims? Trees grow sparse the further you advance. Soon timber is out of places to hide. He rushes back into open snowfields ahead of you. You can hear his panicked breath as he flees. The chase continues. The caves? He might die. He might. Timber's light coat stands in stark contrast to the dark rock walls of the cave he's just dipped into. He hopes to lose you in the darkness, but that won't be possible. You remember the caves in this area well. You stand at the narrow entrance, watching as he disappears behind a large boulder. You call out to him again. This cavern has no other access, Timber. You're hoping to draw me in and slip past me, but I'm well aware of the layout. You've done much to prepare for this confrontation. He's underestimating you, looking down on you again. But it's at least a very good opportunity to inform him of your important discovery. Do you remember when we were discussing what you did with the bodies, helping me brainstorm as you put it? Your voice echoes off the cavern walls, so you make sure to speak slowly and initiate your words. I have to thank you for that, considering your available options made it easier to look into the tools I needed to search for the remains of your victims. Did you know there's a type of magic that can detect the presence of bones? It's used quite often in missing persons cases. You listen for any kind of movement, but Timber is stubbornly silent. You imagine he's sweating from his hiding place. After learning about that, requested Agent O assistance, then brought him to a cave much like this one. Would you want to know what we found? Let's remember, shall we? It's early, much earlier than Agent O would prefer, but your work must continue. You stop to check the map, then turn back to your companion. He's dragging his feet behind you. We should just see it up just up ahead. Uh-huh. Today could be the day, oh. Where's your enthusiasm? In case it wasn't crystal freaking clear, I'm not eager to be involved in your bullshit again. You think there's nothing to be found? I think your hobby's getting a little out of hand. How much of your allowance have you spent on this by now? You disregard his condescension and step inside the next cave. Light, please. O rolls his eyes and tosses a small orb to the cavern ceiling, illuminating the way forward. I've invited to go spelunking, and so spelunk I shall. Yeah, cave number 12. You're sure you ain't reading too much into whatever he said? Once we're through, the case will remain unsolved. O tosses a second orb ahead of you, further lighting the way. There's no we, I'm just a tech guy, keep that in mind. As you proceed into the cavern, the charm in his hand suddenly stirs to life. This means it's detected something? Hang on, could be the calcium in the rocks. You follow O's lead as he holds the charm in front of him like a pendulum. The pull towards the target grows stronger as you move forward, definitely found something. Fortunately, you're led to a small passageway and neither of you could presently fit through. The charm begs to proceed forward, but O holds it back. Something's down there, rock's a bit slick. We're near a lake, it's quite possibly flooded beyond this point. I'll send a scout. He pulls out yet another charm from his pocket, a small dragonfly-shaped crystal, which rises into the air, glowing in soft orange. I'm charging double for this one. These guys are expensive. I'll pay you triple if it finds what I'm expecting to find. The charm drips down the passage, taking the orange glow with it. You wait with bated breath. It returns after an achingly long moment, dropping itself back into O's hand. The glow dulls as he holds it up to take in whatever it saw. He can't get a reading on his face expressions. Finally, he holds the crystal out, offering it to you. Here, fair warning, this isn't a pretty picture. When you peer into the faucet of the gem, you can see the frozen corpse of what appears to be your dark rabbit. Oh, that rabbit. Well, you can't really pin that on him. A bit shaken, you hand this new evidence back to him. That's not really evidence. Because the wolf can't fit through there. It's well preserved. Yeah, nothing could get to it. Lo continues gazing into the crystal. Can't see anything else down there, no backpack, no tools. Moved during the chase, clearly the victim passed through here out of sheer desperation. Don't start theorizing too soon, there's still no guarantee your wolf was involved. But it's a body, as Timber said, not a pile of bones, but a body nonetheless. I'll call it in. Would you still prefer to forgo credit for the discovery? O rises to his feet, motioning for you to follow. It takes you a moment to calm your trembling limbs. Progress. And that is... nah, can't really pin that. Coroner ruled an accidental death, but I know the truth. The rabbit was yours, wasn't it? It must have been so frustrating to successfully complete a kill and yet unable to consume its meat. Tell me, how did you feel? Or are you going to deny your involvement with the suspicious death as well? Your grand revelation is met with silence, irritating, vexing silence. Tired of waiting for him to emerge on his own, you proceed further into the cave, towards the boulder you saw him disappear behind. Were you able to identify that rabbit? Camellia was the name. And I'm sure you don't bother to ask your prey for what kind of information. Is this the first time you heard of it? As you approach, you spot a light gray fur giving off a faint shine in the low light. His tail. You can't hide from. Ah, it isn't his tail, but a lock of hair? Pick it up, then quickly turn to look behind you. Timber's retreating form is silhouetted against the night sky. He's obeyed you once again. You pocket the gift he left to you, then bolted out of the cave after him. The chase continues. To the cliffs. Pursue Timber up the sloping hills of the mountain. The incline slows the both of you down, but you're certain the endurance will outlast his. The cliffs here are the steepest in the area. He's led you here on purpose. When he reaches the edge, he finally slows to a stop, chest heaving from overexertion. You're giving me quite the rugrat tonight, Senbei. He laughs, but there's an underlying cadence of fear in his voice. He knows he's cornered. What will you do, Timber? Turn yourself in? Your words come between heavy pants as well. You feel as if you've been sprinting for the past hour. Perhaps you were. You steady your breathing, then take another step towards him. As soon as you do, he branches a small knife with piercing blue casing. Oh no. Don't come any closer. His tone changes in an instant, from his usual endearing charm to a low growl. Feeling threatened, he didn't answer my question. He holds position, and after a moment, he lowers the knife pace slightly. I still haven't heard any proof from you. His hand is unsteady and trembling. Some uneaten rabbit you found in the cave? What's that got to do with me, huh? I thought the point was to prove I'm out here eating rabbits. You still got freaking nothing that says anything like that. I dismiss you again and again, but he can't keep you at bay forever. It was right to call you relentless. It's true, I didn't come out here with the proof I need to convince everyone of your true nature. Then why bother with all this? He throws his arms out, completely exasperated. Next, are you gonna say I'm guilty because I ran when I saw you from the guy who freaking tortured the shit out of me? You smile at him, his grin falters. I may be without proof for the moment, but you're going to give it to me. You take a step closer, he steps back, but he has far less room to retreat. What? The lighter you were going on about? Sorry, don't have it on me. He turns his pockets inside out to demonstrate his innocence, but that wasn't what you meant. Please, I'm sure you tossed it as soon as I brought it up. This isn't what I'm going to get from you tonight. He raises the knife again, giving you an incredulous look. What you're seeking is more abstract. What do you want then? I don't have anything. I told you, I'm not a murderer. Let's drop the pretense, shall we? Whatever you may call yourself, your actions have led to the deaths of many, many rabbits. So why don't you show me your killing intent? I want to see it firsthand. What? A rabbit stands before you, fresh meat, and here we are in such a high up place. Aren't these the perfect conditions to create one of your accidents? Go on then. Wolf nearly chokes with laughter. Hang on, let me get this straight. You came up here thinking you could get me to try it and kill you? That's the best you come up with, genius? My mistake was the first time around was sending someone else to be hunted in my place. I am here now, in front of you, Timber. There are no witnesses. If you're able to kill me, the one man convinced of your guilt in this case will be gone. In other words, should you succeed, your problems will be solved. Wouldn't that be so convenient for you? You're so messed up. He licks himself, then speaks in a calm, serious voice. I said it before, even if I was a murderer, I wouldn't kill you. Go ho, Senbei. Take a step forward, but this time he stands his ground. You come out hunting tonight, that mean your pack is running low on food again. Wouldn't it be nice getting to serve the flesh of the man you hate the most to your loved ones, to sustain the wolves at my expense? No, not doing it, I can't get against you. He pulls a knife into his casing, then flips it back into his pocket. You hold your arms out, leaving yourself completely open for him. I'm telling you that I can try. Trying, you might very well succeed. I'm not gonna do what you want. Do us both a favor and forget about me, alright? He wants to walk past you, but you won't allow it. You lay your hand on his shoulder, you feel his entire body tense under your touch. You have to try to kill me. This guy never takes no for an answer. He murders himself, but the attempt to play this off with humor only infuriates you more. I'm laying my life before you on a silver platter, and you decide to walk away? Okay, you need a reason? It's because I'm not freaking stupid. Probably brought some kind of insurance, a magic charm that'll keep you from dying. You believe such a thing exists? If not that, then a way to ensure someone knows you got killed? I'm just not convinced you really die for this. Oh, why not? Because then you wouldn't get to see the look on my face when you lock me up and throw away the key. Touché. See, the whole thing was a stupid idea. He really isn't going to do it. Your hand remained on his shoulder, you don't want to let go. Dude, push back him. Want to know what the saddest part is? You meet his gaze. You couldn't do any of this on your own power. You're just still relying on others' magic, same as always. Best you can do is beg me to kill you. Couldn't even do that on your own. That's quite enough. Oh. You were worried before about what you would do if you were to lay your hands on him. What you didn't know is that it will feel this good. This infuriating man. He clutches at your hand, you can't tear it away from his throat. Maybe this time I stop relying on magic. You dig into his back pocket and pull out the knife. I've been wondering, where exactly did you get this, Timber? You didn't carry any weapons before, another one of your trophies perhaps? He struggles against your grip. His boots strike at your shins, but the blows are weak and ineffective. Careful, you wouldn't want to fall from this height. Blows always land on your feet, isn't that right? All at once, his body goes limp. He looks down at you with that all-too-familiar condescending grin. Why? What could he possibly have to laugh about? He's mocking you, even as you hold his very life in your hands. You're going to do it. You're going to disembowel him with his own pocket knife. You're going to flay him slowly so that he feels every painful incision. You leave him within an inch of his life. Make him suffer as he slowly bleeds to death. Then he'll see who's begging to be killed by whom. Then he'll finally admit. In one swift motion, he raises both legs and kicks you square in the torso, causing you to release your grip on his throat as he launches off you and over the edge of the cliff. You hear a distant splash, but the last you see of him is his coat drifting slowly through the air. After that, silence. You study the water for a long while, but he doesn't resurface. Even if he did, he would surely freeze to death soon after. The heat of his body, which still lingers on your glove, is no match for the lakes of Mount Sorbet in the dead of winter. Timber has drawn his last breath. Hasn't he? Did he?
In the moonlight, your eyes may play tricks on you. What's a guy to do on these cold nights when paranoid thoughts intrude? Was it just the wind or a howling wolf? I'll be feeding your delusions up until the sun rises. I can go all night long. You'll be seeing executions. Take a second look and I'll be gone. Were you seeing wrong? In the moonlight, your eyes may play tricks on you, dreaming like a fool on these cold nights, awake in your lonely room. Just beyond your window I'm prowling.
I think he's okay. When you descend the cliff and reach the lake shore, you found no trace of Timber. You circled the perimeter twice, once to check for tracks, a second time just to be certain you didn't miss anything. It's possible he never surfaced. It's possible that he dove in, his head hit the rocks, and he died in impact. But you don't believe that. Timber wouldn't die so easily. He wouldn't have taken the risk if he wasn't certain he could survive the plunge. He wouldn't have smirked at you like that before he... What you really like to do is ask, oh, help in scanning the lake bed, just to be absolutely sure. But there are two problems with that approach. First, if you were to discover Timber's body at the bottom of the lake, would assume you are involved with him concealing a murder. That'll be the end of his usefulness to you. Personal consequences alone make this infeasible. Second, it will mean you're relying on other's magic again, another one for Timber. Reluctantly, you realize there's nothing left for you to do here except for return home. You hold his pocket knife in your hand. Dang, stole the pocket knife. Studying it closely as you make your way down the icy path. Whether or not Timber has survived, there are still a few remaining threads to unravel. You look forward to uncovering every one of his secrets. Ugh, let Timber get away. What's with his obsession? Okay, so we can read this epilogue. It's late, past midnight, you think. Your watch ran out of batteries a few months ago, so you can't check. Most importantly, Timber hasn't come home yet. This is what's keeping you awake. The other wolves tell you he's prone to disappearing some nights. He always comes back by morning, they say. Even if that's true, why didn't he tell you he was going somewhere? You don't like this at all. You decide to step outside of the glades just to have a look around. Maybe take a walk will calm you down. Maybe he'll be home by the time you come back. Maybe... Twigs, is something wrong? Oh, Tundra, you're still up. I'm keeping watch tonight. Were you going somewhere? Just on a walk. This late? It's after midnight. Aha, you knew it. Who needs a watch when you have an impeccable eternal clock? Alright, this is no time for it to be elaborating self-praise. Your partner is missing. I'm worried about Timber. I'm not even sure where he went, or when he left, or when he'll be back. You don't have to worry about him, dear. Leave that to his mother. Timber's possessiveness irks you a little. You have every right to be worried. You spend every day at his side. Is it okay if we both worry? I don't know if I can stop. What I mean is, he already let me know he was going out. That's why I'm keeping watch. Oh really? Where'd he go? And why did he only tell Tundra and not you? You're getting even more irked by the second. He's working hard for the pack. Why don't you go ahead and turn in for the night? Twigs? It's a very annoying. Ash always makes these demands disguised as suggestions. It's so manipulative. Ah yes, the annoying mother-in-law. You don't let your irritation show, though. She's basically your mother-in-law. Everyone kind of hates their in-laws, don't they? Well, I guess it's fine since he told you he was going out, but I'd still like to take a little walk before bed. Again, I must remind you that it's very late. Walking around the dark mountains in the dark is quite dangerous. Maybe Timber ought to be the one worrying about you. I certainly do. No, she doesn't. Her worrying is more like constant judgment, like every little thing you do is just slightly wrong, and never good enough for her. I won't go far. I'll be back in like 10 minutes, tops. You walk away before she can make any more objections. No one tells Twigs what to do. Exactly. Once you're alone, you take a big breath, then exhale slowly. It's no good holding on to all these negative feelings. Your brain wants to pick at them, but it's not healthy. Focus on the good things. Living in Glaze has done wonders for your mental health. You don't get anxiety attacks anymore. Foraging is fun. You're pretty good at it. The weather's been nice. No blizzards so far. If all you have to worry about is your partner stepping out without telling you, that's a pretty small-scale problem to have. You should be grateful. Maybe he meant to tell you, or he thought Tundra would let you know, or he expected the baby back sooner. There's so many reasons this could have happened. That's why you don't have to worry tonight. That's why... A wolf approaching? While dragging Timber's coat through the snow... Timber? He collapses. You shriek, you call for Tundra, you rush over to him. He hopes she can hear you. You don't know what's going on, and you need to fix it and make everything okay again. When your panic finally subsides, it's because Tundra has finally taken care of everything. She's really good in an emergency. You feel bad for getting so miffed at her earlier. It's a little scary though, seeing her son like that, and not even batting an eye. Well, that's not really fair to be to say. Maybe she's the type to hold all her fears inside. It wouldn't be very productive to tremble and cry at the thought of every worst-case scenario, you know? Because that's what always happens to you. If you were on your own, maybe you would have hesitated too long and he would have just... You'd clench your fist. There's no thinking negative stuff like that. Tundra massages Timber's paws, one in each hand. You assume it's to promote circulation or something. Now might be a good time to start asking questions. You're just waiting after all. Hey, Tundra? Yes? Is he okay? What do you think happened? He'll tell us when he wakes up. Doesn't look like that's happening anytime soon, though. Your spur was covered in ice. Did he fall in the lake? Seems so, yes. He did well to change forms. Wolf fur is better insulated against the cold. He would have lost heat too quickly otherwise. You ought to ask her why this happened. You want to know where he went and what he was supposed to be doing? Tundra said it was for the pack. But seeing him like this, maybe it's best to worry about it later. You just want to wake him up. Try to ask you to look after him, to keep him warm during the night. You don't need her to tell you twice. You'll give Timber as much warmth as he needs, until he wakes up and complains that you're smothering him. Morning comes sooner than you expect. So much for your internal clock. Someone's nudging you. You rub the sleep from your eyes to see... Twigs, where's my coat? Timber! You bury your face in his chest. He's okay. Everything turned out okay. I thought you were gonna die. I was really freaking out. Nah, I lived. Could have sworn I brought my coat back, though. Why do you care so much about your coat in a time like this? You almost died. His father wore this just like it. Tundra steps through the doorway holding a bowl of leftover soup. It's a chowder that Timber made for lunch yesterday. Maybe you're imagining it, but you thought you felt his arms tense up as soon as he spoke. Eat before it gets cold. Your coat needs to be clean, so I took care of it this morning. Drake, would you be a dear and fetch it for him? I left it folded on my bed. Okay, I'll be right back. You tried to get up, but Timber puts his arm around you to hold you back. It's fine, I don't need it. Just wanted to know where it was. Let them bring it to you. We have things to discuss. I don't want to discuss shit. I'm coming from my near-death experience. There's a strange tension in the air, but before you can even think about trying to smooth things over, Ember comes trotting in. Timber, you woke up. Hey, buddy. I didn't scare you, did I? I wasn't scared. You were okay after last time, too. This happened before? Yeah, when he was little. I was out with him and Crystal, and she fell through the ice. Timber jumped in and saved her. It was so cool. I wasn't cool. I was freaking freezing. It sucked. Mother quietly takes her leave while Timber and Ember quite happily chatter away. Remind him to eat his soup. You notice his hand trembling as he holds the spoon. But you don't say anything about it. Instead, you do your best to not try to look too outwardly concerned. You're just glad he's safe. You don't leave Timber's side all day. Actually, he doesn't really let you. Maybe it's because he doesn't want to be left alone. Puts on a big smile while he talks in front of everyone, but he still clearly hasn't explained what happened. He hasn't really explained anything. He's giving tidbits of information to each wolf who's asked about it. You've been able to piece together the general idea because of that. He says he was fishing. He says the ice was thinner than he expected. He says his boat fell in. But why would he go fishing alone at that hour without saying anything to you? If he was searching for food, that lines up with what Tundra said about working hard for the pack, but he doesn't need to go out on his own for that. You're here to help him. Everyone in the pack would be happy to help Timber, so why'd he go alone? Because he couldn't ask? Your worries are piling up in the back of your mind. You'll have to talk to him about it when you go back to bed tonight. Before you know it, the sun's gone down. Tundra makes dinner for everyone that night. The portions are smaller than you'd like, but there's nothing you could do about that. If you had anything left in savings, maybe you go into town and pick up lots of food for everyone. Maybe you should go back to work. Oh, but if you were working, then you couldn't be with Timber. The commute would take forever, too. You had to be around riches who look down on you, cats who run away from you. You feel all your anxieties compounding on each other. If you had more money to buy everyone more food, Timber wouldn't have to leave in the middle of the night. It would be worth it if it meant he wouldn't have to do anything dangerous. It would be worth it if you keep living happily together in Glaze. Things eventually quiet down, and you finally get a moment alone with Timber. So you go ahead and bring up the first thing on your mind. If I get a job. What job? Like in town, so I can make money. I can bring home lots of food for everyone. I thought you liked not having a job to go out to. I do. I think it's a lot more fun doing stuff around here to help the pack. But if I had money, I could bring all sorts of things home. We'd be feasting like kings. It'd be great. Be gone all the time. Maybe just for the season, then I could leave for a while and come back. You give me your best smile, but he isn't convinced. He curls up on the sleeping bag. Don't leave. Why not? I don't want you to. He looks so small. For the first time, you worry about breaking his heart. You shouldn't have brought this up when he's still recovering from last night. He's in a fragile state. You just wanted to solve the problem. Instead, you gave him something new to worry about. But before you can even begin to apologize, Tundra walks in. Timber, can I speak to you? Sure, go ahead. Twigs, do you mind giving us the room? No, stay. Whatever you want to say to me, Twigs can hear it. This tension is way worse than what you felt between them this morning. You're worried this is all your fault, but you can't move. I think Twigs would prefer not to overhear this conversation. Don't tell me what Twigs would prefer, ask them. Your stomach drops. You're afraid to speak, but Tundra is looking at you expectantly. You have to say something. I don't want to cause a problem, but if Timber wants me to stay, then I'll stay. In that case, we'll just have to speak around it. Now tell me what happened. I went out like you asked, got chased around all night, then had to dive into the lake to get away. Chased? He dove in on purpose? This is way more serious than the fishing story. This is I didn't want to go back out there. He was freaking waiting for me. I see. Who was? The guy who screwed up my throat. Points to his neck and thrusts the same figure in Tundra's direction. Just as dangerous as it's always been, yeah, it's freaking not, it's worse. It's worse and you still told me to go back out there. Why won't you protect me? I am protecting you. I'm protecting this entire pack from starvation. Let's just, calm down. Timberback stopped and climbs into his sleeping bag, kicking off his boots in a huff. Suppose you've answered my question. Just be more careful next time. I'm not doing this shit again. If you think I am, then you must be insane as he is. Twigs, I'll leave Timber in your care. Sure. Tundra steps out, and you're left in the aftershock with this very heavy and confusing conversation. Timber, can you please tell me what's going on? No. I'm worried about you. I've never seen you so upset. It's too much to explain. His voice is muffled by the blanket. I know I'm being pushy, but this is upsetting for me too. I mean, not that my feelings should take priority or anything. I just wanted you to know that I know. Pulls the sleeping bag down far enough to peek out at you from beneath his messy bangs. Twigs, I know. I can't tell you the whole story because I'm scared you'll hate me. What? Why would I hate you? Because you're a good person? I only hate you if you cheated on me. I'm serious. So am I. I'm not that good of a person because I won't be able to forgive you if you betrayed me. Twigs. He can't help but laugh a little. I don't think I ever believed you if you said you cheated on me. I make up some reason for why it doesn't count. I think it makes me an even worse person. Does that make you an even worse person? Timber sits up and looks you in the eye. I'm not gonna put you in that situation. Yeah, but it would make me a worse person if I did. Why are we talking about this? Because you won't talk about what happened? Fine, come here. Pulls you into the sleeping bag with him and holds you close. Remember what happened with my scar? Mm-hmm. That guy has wanted to catch me again ever since. What? Why wouldn't he leave you alone? There's a lot of reasons. Is it just because you're a wolf? That's so mean. It's not that. He thinks I've been killing rabbits, so he wants to hunt me down and make me admit it. Why? So he can feel important, so he can get rid of all of us. Maybe even for his own personal satisfaction. That's so ridiculous. Why would he even think of that like that about you? There's nothing for you to admit to. Why is he even targeting you in the first place? Just because you're... Problem is, he's right. You fall silent. I should have done for this pack. It's mostly for meat, but I hate him too. So sometimes I go out and I see if I can goad him into dying for me. You can't move, much less speak. How are you supposed to respond to this? I'm not good at gonna make excuses. I used to think it was fun, using their own fear against them. And the only reason to stop being fun is because I got caught. And they gave me this scar. And I've been scared every time I've gone out scavenging since. Your chest feels heavy. So why did you go out again? You heard the boss, we gotta eat. You lowered your voice to a whisper. Is she making you do this? Did you not hear me? I told you it used to be fun. But after that, after you wanted to stop. You wanted to stop, didn't you? But the way she talked before, it's like she won't let you. If I don't go out, she will. So I went, because I'd rather it be me that should happen to than anyone else. At least I got away. Timber. You sit up, pushing the blanket off so you can look at him. I don't hate you. I think that makes me a really bad person. You should probably hate me a little. But I don't. Is that bad? You don't want to do it anymore. If you don't want to do it again, then that's fine. That's your idea of fine? It has to be fine. I told you if you betrayed me, I just say it doesn't count. Does that really make me a bad person that I'm okay with this? Listen, he puts his hand on yours. I'm the bad guy. You don't have to worry about things like that. I'm not gonna worry. I'm a warrior. And forget I said anything. Pretend it never happened. You lay your head on his shoulder. I can't just forget this. He wraps his arm around you, rubbing your back gently. Your mind is racing with 1,000 questions. Timber. Last night, right before I found you, I was just thinking how good my life was. Did I ruin it? No, that's what messed up. You lean in and give him a kiss. No matter what he's done, you can't help but love him. That's kind of a horrible, awful person you are. You need to learn everything about this. You'll ask your questions little by little and you'll make sure he answers honestly. The more you know, the better you'll be able to protect him. So that nothing bad ever happens to him again. That's probably the best way for you to be happy. As two wolves who are just making the best of what they've got, that's all there is to it. Despite everything. Sleep comfortably in his arms that night. Okay, I got all the endings. There is lore to read, because I don't remember everything. Unlocked and all. So let's go with unlocked. So the Warrens, an apartment building and frosting, a total of 9 taxidermy wolves are stored here, which one on display in the lobby. The rabbits are crazy because that could be them when they really think about it. Okay, temporal magic, it's used to manipulate time. Low-level spells include fast forward and reversal. Got it. The witch O refers to during his route in a criminal, not time. So their walls were constructed by a witch after a certain incident in which a local rabbit was threatened by foxes. Right. The foxes, they're beefing the foxes too. Right. So all the predators, they want to make all predators disappear. But like, when they think about it, there's still humans and witches and wizards and whatnot. The rabbits could be their, if a famine were to start, rabbits would be their next source of food. But they never really think about that. Right, the instant rail, I know about that. It's a magical train, pair bonds. Monogamous relationships are highly encouraged and celebrated. Their weddings are called moon ceremony, in which they make a vow to the moon and become soulmates. Right, Pine's coat was accidentally turned pink by butterscotch during the events of Syrup and the Ultimate Sweet. Everyone used to it now, but he became a bit of a laughingstock when he first came home looking like that. I don't remember that. Chickens are certain animal folk are cursed with an inability to take human form. They grow to be as large as humans, but are raised and slaughtered as livestock. Right? They're all hypocrites because they raise chickens just because they don't talk. Same thing with like humans. Like, we wouldn't eat animals if they talked. We'd be like, oh, you talk? Yeah, we can't eat you. I think it's just in that head, like, if someone talks, then, you know, they're not, should be, like, it's morally wrong to just eat them. Tundra's Scar. After learning of Tundra's plan of scavenging to support the pack, Treat's mother chose to leave Glaze. Oh, okay. So that's what happened. Right, they're a part of their pack. Two former best friends tore each other apart over this disagreement and haven't seen each other since. So Tundra didn't want Treat's mother to leave. Which is kind of selfish, but like, they have to leave. They have to go out. Wolf language. While in Beastborn, animal folk speech is limited, they can understand each other. Got it. Group of nomadic wolves, specifically Timber's pack. They move around various spots in the mountain as seasons change. We got charms, scavenging. This thing with the scavenging, okay, yes. He chases the rabbits on purpose and they die. Like, it's their fear, because he usually identifies it as their fear is with killing them. They fall off somewhere, because he won't, when you think about it, he won't kill them. If a rabbit will come in front of Timber, he won't kill them directly, like ever. He'd be like, no, I'm not gonna kill you. Because I feel like if, like, someone, like rabbit, over the rabbits he's, like, hunted, if they came up to him and, like, they're like, I'm not scared of you, I want to leave, he would just let them leave. Because, I mean, he's not gonna directly murder them. He's not gonna kill someone, I think. So-called peaceful town of Rabish, 2 decades ago, and it was established, like, a large city where rabbits are in majority, sprouted. So many rabbits move here into cheaper, more rural areas. Beastborn, humans. Oh, humans are rare. They can't use magic? I mean, humans are witches, but I guess they don't have magic. And magic's exclusive to witches. Please don't feed chocolate to a dog in real life. Okay, animal folk. Mount Sorbet. Taken names. Okay. I'm trying to remember all the whole story here. Okay, I think that is... yeah, it. Yeah, that's the end with Night with Timber. This whole story was... I wasn't expecting it to go down to this path. It's just, kind of dives into the history, like the... expands the Lonely Treat series more into how wolves or and other predators are treated basically by humans, witches, and like prey animals alike as just people that can't be reasoned with, basically. And in the end, like, the prey animals are the ones that they say that the wolves are violent and like forgiving and whatnot, but they're the ones who are actually like that, and they refuse to see themselves as that because, well, they're the smaller animal. I feel like that guy, what's his name, that rabbit that kidnapped him, I forgot his name already, Sabin or whatever, I think he's so strong because he's part human. Because I'm like, he's not like, it seems like rabbits are naturally kind of meek, and he's not meek whatsoever. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Torture scene was terrible, but of course he's doing it under the books because it wouldn't look good for a rabbit to be doing that. But since he's half human, it would even look even worse. They're like, oh, they wouldn't blame it on his rabbit side. They would say, oh, because he's human, he's like that. So of course he's gonna keep that torture thing under the books. And I don't know how this is gonna go off. Everything seems so bleak for the wolves that live in the glades. Their land was stolen from them, mind you, and they can't even... the rabbits can be bothered to share. They're like, oh, just die out. It's kind of weird how all the predators can't like team up together and like, I don't know, try to bring up their grievances with being treated like they can't live normal lives. I feel like that would be the best course of action personally. That's what I think. But this is very, complicated and whatnot, but I enjoyed the story. It was great. That is the end of Night with Timber. I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye.